Good afternoon. It is 3:01. I'm Joseph Milano live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. In NFL news today, the Rams have agreed to terms with quarterback Matthew Stafford on a restructured contract, keeping him in L.A. for the foreseeable future. Stafford, who was allowed to visit with other teams to seek a potential trade, found interest from the Giants and Raiders, but was able to work out a deal with the Rams. With the Stafford news official, the New York Giants are now reportedly shifting their interest to Aaron Rodgers as a potential quarterback option per Diana Rossini. Other reports have hinted at a possible trade up to number 1 as well. Day 2 of workouts at the NFL Combine is underway as the defensive backs and tight ends go through their drills. Currently, the leader in the clubhouse for the 40, Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky with a 4.29, some blazing speeds from the cornerback room. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs spoke with the media today. They will test tomorrow starting at noon. Tennessee baseball begins a 3-game weekend today at the Astros Foundation College Classic in Houston. The Vols will face off against number 16 Oklahoma State as left-handed pitcher Liam Doyle gets to start for Tennessee. First pitch coming up in just a few minutes. This weekend in college hoops, number 1 Auburn on the road versus number 17 Kentucky. Number 5 Tennessee hosting number 6 Alabama. Tip-off for that one is at 3 o'clock. You can catch the Vol Network coverage of the game right here on the Zone at 2:30. And Vanderbilt hosting number 14 Missouri at 5. For your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once. Your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Friday. The weekend is here. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
The Evident Bank chat is open. There she is.
I'm here. Hey,
What
people, it's Friday. You have made it. It is a beautiful day. It's Friday.
I feel like you cut that off short, Zeph.
Yeah, I'll explain to you why in the break.
Okay. There he is, the executive producer of 3HL.
What's up?
He's on his game.
Are you at Cracker Barrel this weekend?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I took the weekend off.
Do wedding stuff?
Yeah, we're starting
knew it.
we're starting to put together our seating chart, which means we got to get on some of these people who haven't RSVP'd that we really want there.
Are any of those people in this room?
2 of them are, and one of them is on his way to Florida, Gainesville.
Yep.
Wait, so Davenport RSVP'd?
No, I have not.
2 of us. I said 2
He
of them
said
are in
two
that
are in
room.
this room.
Oh.
You
The
know
other
what's
one's at
funny?
Gainesville.
I hung up one of Baby Bab's pieces of divine artwork that she made at school. Let's just say my daughter is not an artist. But I was hanging it up, and it's hanging right next to the wedding invite. And I was like, oh, I probably need to RSVP for that.
Yes, please.
So when you do your seating chart, even though we haven't RSVP'd, me and Mr. Babs will be there.
Okay.
But we're not going to be there for the Catholic wedding.
That's okay.
We'll come afterwards.
I'll join in on them. Whatever she just said. Not the Catholic part.
Just RSVP, please. Thank you. Anyways, moving on.
We're those a-holes that haven't done it. And I get it. I hate, it's hard. It's stressful. You got this, Zeph. You got it.
It is stressful, as are these combine workouts for a lot of guys. So there are some.
I said yesterday, Mayor, this is the most important job interview for some of these guys that they will ever have in their
Oh, for
life.
sure, dude.
Ever.
I mean, a chance at millions?
Yeah.
Or not?
Right.
I mean,
Ooh.
let's roll. I know there's Zeph. Was there a cornerback from North Carolina that ran a 4.29?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. That's it. Kentucky.
Maxwell Hairston, he ran a 4.3 his first go around, then comes back with a 4.29 his second go around. Fastest time at the 40-yard dash of the combine so far. Cornerbacks were blazing so far
So
today.
fast.
There were 5 cornerbacks under 4.4, and several in the 4.4s as well. So very fast defensive back group, at least in this first round at the combine.
I wonder what I would run.
I'm going 7.
I told Blaine.
I think I could do better than 7, but like some of these big dudes yesterday that ran like 5.3s, Oh.
I told Blaine I think I could run a 6 flat.
Yeah, that would be a good over-under number, I think.
What about me? Now, keep in mind,
Nobody jumped to answer.
Nobody dare answer that one. But keep in mind, I used to be fast. I ran the 100 in high school. I wasn't
Why?
the fastest
Why
in
did you
high
do that?
school, but because I was fast. I wasn't the fastest, but I was the fourth member of the 4x100.
Was it to stay in volleyball shape? Like, I don't understand. Like, you had other things you could be doing, right?
Well, yeah, but it was to be able to compete.
Slay ran track, too.
Yeah. I just
did not. That
wanted
will
to
shock
compete
you.
in anything. I wanted to compete and win in anything.
Again, you can watch the show, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
My camera feels like it's right up on me, Zeph.
He can move you back.
Man.
Feeling a little worried about that 4K we've got going on with our cameras, huh?
It's very clear.
See all the details there? You need the soft focus, Diane Sawyer soft focus on your camera.
Yeah,
there?
whatever happened to her? I haven't seen her in a long time.
She's still kicking it.
She is? Mm-hmm. Is she still doing stuff on, like, I don't watch
I don't
GMA
know.
anymore.
Well, she didn't do GMA in a long time.
Right, but she would do, like, little blurbs
Pieces,
for them. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I basically only watch sports on my TV, so.
They would go from, like, hard focus on Stephanopoulos to soft focus on her.
Yep.
And it was noticeable when they would switch cameras.
Do you know that she's 79 years old?
I do. Yeah. Her and Martha getting it.
Martha.
Slay is trying to make a flight. He will be in, where is he going?
Gainesville.
Gainesville. That's right.
College
He's
game
calling
day.
the game. And College Game Day is there, which is crazy. But yet he's calling the game.
We told him that he needs to figure out a way to infiltrate that game day set because game day in football is one thing. Game day in basketball, Drea Carter is the only one with any energy on that set. I'm sorry. I know you work for ESPN. You can't say things. I can. She's the only one with any energy on that set. And I'm not saying anything about the analysts because they do a great job analyzing basketball, but boring.
Well,
Slay should definitely find his way up onto that
Right?
set.
you guys know Ron
Absolutely.
Slay. Do you think there's any way he doesn't try to infiltrate that set? There's no
No,
way
he's definitely going to be.
try.
He's definitely going to be hanging around
Yep.
before the game.
He's going to
And
be
they're-
like, you guys know you just want to throw me on.
they're going to see him during a break, and he's going to be like, "Come on, you just one segment, like give me like 5 minutes," and they're going to bring him on, and then he's going to kill.
He's
and then
going to
they're
be in
gonna
his
give him an offer.
sweats. He's going to be in his sweats with his Boom Boom Room shirt.
And then they're going to give him an offer to do game day full time next year.
Wow, Zeph, you just went real far.
Have you met
They
Slay?
should.
Have you met Slay? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty obvious he should be on that show, right? Like, I mean,
Maybe we're a little partial towards Slay.
I don't think so. I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious.
I think he would kill it.
Yeah. By the way, Matthew Stafford re-signing gives value to the Titans with that number 1 pick. How glad do you think they were that he re-signed with the Rams?
Yeah,
Because
it's a good point.
people had talked about the Raiders, people had talked about the Giants, and now the Giants are scrambling. Now we see a report that Sean left with Barganzi from the Combine today.
Diana Rossini put out the Giants are switching over to Aaron Rodgers as a potential quarterback
how
option.
funny is that? What if Aaron Rodgers went from the Jets to the Giants
That
and
would be
kept the same
glorious.
home field, but
That'd be
flipped
glorious.
uniforms and conferences?
That's an easy transition there.
Oh, man. The NFL. And it just gives and gives and gives and gives. 4.29. What about, I know y'all talked about it yesterday, but James Pierce Jr. running a 4.47? Good Lord.
So we said this yesterday.
Which he
so
needed.
It was during the break when he ran it, and Slay, the time before, had told me he had told me, hey, when he runs it again, he's gonna break that 4.5. He's gonna get under 4.5. And so his second run, as soon as he comes off the line, Slay turns around and goes, he got it, and just like didn't even watch the rest, and then he hit it, and I was like, well, you called it, Slay. And he goes, yeah, I know, because I could see. It's like Slay said it's like he stumbled in his first run, And so
And
he
then
knew that
didn't in the second
he
one.
knew in his second run that he was going to get it.
Wasn't he in his sweatshirt for the first run because he forgot his shirt at the
The
hotel?
whole time, the whole
hoodie.
combine, he was wearing the hooded shirt because apparently he left his the tight dry fit one at the hotel.
Okay, is that a bad look if you're an NFL team? Like, it's the biggest I know I'm picking here, but it is the most important job interview of your life, and you can't even remember your shirt.
He remembered the shirt, just the one he didn't want. The one with the hood.
What does that even mean, Zeph? You did.
Zeph, now you're making excuses for him. Stop.
Yeah, maybe. That's a little homerism, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for admitting it.
Here's the thing:
Accountability. We're working on it with Zeph. Well done.
If you're James Pierce Jr., why would you even tell that story? Like, I wore what I wanted to wear. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, you should have played it that way.
What about Slay's guy Shamar Stewart yesterday? Woo!
He is making himself some money in these workouts. 100%.
I mean, Abdul Carter is
his breakdown, his shuttle, whatever. But I mean, he's making himself some money.
Abdul Carter is glad he didn't work out. Let me just tell you.
I don't know because that guy's a freak athlete.
Yeah, but he wasn't 100% though.
Well,
Even
yeah,
if it was 100%.
You can't ever work out if you're not healthy.
This guy had the best number
only
since
hurting yourself.
1997 or whatever it is. Is Abdul Carter going to beat that?
Yeah,
No.
it was the
Maybe.
It was the guy.
Really?
It was,
Yeah.
Two guys from 1997 to now in the same draft?
You might have had three.
I don't know.
What was it?
He's lighter. He's super athletic. I wouldn't put it past him.
So it was the guy who does the raw athletic score for these prospects after their combine results, and I think it was like out of 1,800 potential prospects from 1997 or to now, he was top. He was number 3, and then they went back and reevaluated, and he goes, the guy who does the numbers said, "Yeah, I just went ahead and gave him the 1 because it was so close. It was like there's no reason not to give him a 10." Pure athlete.
Athlete. Jael said, who ran a 4.29?
That would be
Kentucky corner.
Maxwell Harrison out of Kentucky.
We've literally said it 3 times in one segment.
That's all right. They came in late.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm here to help you.
You're more helpful than me. 615-737-1045. When we come back, we'll visit with Buck Rising from the aforementioned or creatively mentioned or creatively named Buck Rising Show. He's been in Indianapolis all week for the NFL Combine. Buck Rising on 3HL next, 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right. If you are a homeowner, you're creating your dream space, I'll tell you where you need to go. Look no further than our show sponsor. That's Ferguson Home, the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting for any of your home projects. If you don't know where to start, and you know you want to get a beautiful finished project, let Ferguson Home help you out. You can book an appointment at your local showroom. I'm going to give you the addresses here in a second. You can get firsthand knowledge and personalized experts to help you every step of the way. I'm pretty sure Mr. Babs is very angry that Ferguson is now a part of our team because I got some projects that I would like done around the house. And I'm definitely going with Ferguson Home. For those contractors, interior designers, multiple project managers, you can find a new way to shop at Ferguson Home as well. Stop into their showroom, see and feel what you're actually looking for before the actual installation. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home where it all comes together. Here's your addresses for some showrooms. There's one in Clarksville, Dunbar Cave Road, Murfreesboro, 540 New Salem Road, 401 South Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet, and Powell Avenue in Nashville, 3201. Or just go check them out online. That's fergusonhome.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Slay Dog is calling a game in Gainesville, Florida tonight, or tomorrow night. Sorry. How about that? And game day, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, Zeph, I don't like the new music system.
We'll get it figured out.
I know this happened yesterday, but I wasn't here.
I don't like it either. It's awkward. Why do you stop it so fast? Can't you just slowly bring it down?
Fade?
It will still be heard on the thing I don't need it to be heard on.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. We care about on the air.
Yeah, just fade it 5 seconds earlier than you're about to just slam it shut like a water faucet.
Because that's awkward. And you know what it seems like? It seems like you suck at your job.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just being real. I'm keeping it real.
Are you saying me slamming it down like that sounds like I suck at my job?
Yeah, but I'm not saying that you do suck at your job.
That's
but
how
by
it came
doing
across.
that,
See,
that's how it came
This is how
across.
females work right here. I didn't say that you suck at your job. I said it sounded like you did.
yeah.
It came across
makes
like
it-
you just said I
Let me,
suck.
phrasing. I'm not very good at that.
Plus, it's
how
Friday.
about-
And let's remind people on Monday before we even did the show, Babs is like, God, what a hell of a week this has been.
This is accurate.
And it was Monday before the show.
And now it's Friday, and it's even more a hell of a week.
Cross to bear.
Holy maloli.
Holy
Is that a word?
maloli.
I don't know.
I mean, it can be. Does
What I
baby
should have said is when that happens, it makes it seem like you suck at your job. There you go.
I'm aware. Thank you.
Yep, got you. We're supposed to have Buck on. What the hell is he doing? Right?
I mean, normal guests, if we were having trouble connecting with them, we would say, we're efforting Greg Cosell.
No. Buck is not answering our phone call. He better be talking to Mike Bergonzi in the lobby of the Starbucks.
No, dude, he's in
he's not calling.
No, he already told me. He's in a car with Kirby.
Okay, then there is no excuse. I'm about to call Kirby.
I
then.
should say he said likely in the car with Kirby is where he would be on Friday. Yeah, text Kirby. Call Kirby. That's the best thing to do. Call Kirby. We'll put his ass on.
You actually want me to call Kirby?
Yes.
Okay.
Call him on the
I'm
hotline.
calling him right now.
No,
I was gonna
call him on the hotline.
Okay, call him on the hotline. I was about to just call him and put him on speaker.
Your husband just texted us.
Yeah, they're in Birmingham for soccer, a soccer tournament. Which, by the way, this is definitely a spring topic. But can we talk about these kids' travel sports? Somebody tweeted me about it because Danny Cannell was complaining about his daughter plays volleyball. And I know that world because I played club volleyball. And it's even more on crack now than it was then.
Yep.
It's a world. I mean, you're every weekend and they're not close tournaments. You're going to New Orleans. You're
No,
going
and there's
to Tampa,
300
Dallas,
teams involved.
Vegas.
All
Yes.
kinds of screaming.
I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, so somebody had responded to it and said, why do we do this as parents? We have to put our foot down. It's insane. It's so expensive. There's so many other reasons. But then I look at it and I'm like, we do it as parents because we want to give our kids the best opportunity to succeed.
That's right.
And you feel like your kids will fall behind if they're not doing off-season or extra work from whatever sport it is they're playing in high school, right? That's exactly how every parent out there feels.
Yep.
And then you go broke paying for this stuff. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox and we'll talk about that in the spring. Okay.
I feel like there are fewer opportunities for girls also, which leads them down the soccer volleyball path. Softball.
Yes.
Softball might be the worst from what I've heard from parents.
Shoot, dance. This
yeah.
competition dance too. I mean, it's nuts. It's all nuts.
Coconuts, as Ron Jr. would say.
Who's on the hotline?
He's calling people.
Nobody.
Travis, Kirby didn't answer either. What are they doing? What are these two people doing?
Pissing me off.
No, what I started to say was your husband is watching from Birmingham on a big screen TV. That should not happen with me and you on the, well, particularly me, but your face on the screenshot is pretty remarkable.
Ooh, is my stepson watching too? I might need to watch my attitude.
Do you want to go into your 0-0 tie rants?
No, well, skip that.
615-737-1045 if you want in. If you would like to replace Buck as our guest during this segment, you certainly
Please
can. 615-737-1045. What do you think he's doing? I always say, I wonder what Isaiah Wilson's doing right now. What do you think Buck and Kirby are doing right now? Because neither one of them are answering their phone.
All I'm saying is they better be talking to somebody really, really important. And I mean really important.
More important than us?
Correct.
And our listeners? More important than our listeners?
Nobody is more important than our listeners.
Well, looky here. We've got Buck. Buck, what's up? How are you?
What do you know, kids?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm driving back from Indianapolis.
Well, why the heck didn't you answer the phone?
I was on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry.
You knew what time you were coming on our show. I need you know what? I need you to be more accountable for your actions.
I think that's reasonable by you. Whether or not it impacts my behavior moving forward remains to be seen.
Doesn't learn from mistakes. Put that in the NFL Combine interview file.
Here is our text strand, and this is going to make Dawn even more excited. Can you hop on Friday, Buck? We're wide open. Which I sent on Wednesday. You responded yesterday, an entire day. I know you're busy. I'm not giving you crap about that. Yes.
No. This is deserved. This is deserved.
I'll probably be in the car if that's cool, but I can pretty much do whatever you guys need. And I said, does 3:20 p.m. work? And you said, yes, sir. And I said, thanks.
It is 4:28 Eastern, and I forget about time change, but it's fine. I'm here.
Gosh.
Let's talk ball.
Well, then technically you're like an hour late, dude. Okay, let's talk ball.
Wait. Where's Kirby in this mix, too? Because we called him. We were going to put him on.
Oh, Kirby, yeah. No, I don't ride in the car with Kirby after Senior Bowl. 6 hours is too much.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Dawn will give you that one.
I'm with you on that.
Listen, when we take trips, like we go to Radio Row or something, he always puts her next to him. It's bizarre. And she lasts about a day and a half before she's like, Kirby, stop talking, and has to move.
I love him. I will not travel without him, but that doesn't mean I have to travel with him.
That is accurate. Okay. Combine, what's the biggest takeaway you have, I don't care what it is, from your time in Indianapolis?
They want to trade it. They're not going to say it, but they want to trade it. And I think that's fair. Hey, what do you mean it's bunk? I just told you, just asked me, and then I told you, and then it's bunk?
I know. I mean, I'm allowed to have an opinion on it.
Yes, this is what I'm working with, Buck. You on the phone and her in the room. I mean, this is a great Friday for me.
Okay, they want to trade it.
Yeah, so I get it, but you're allowed to feel a certain type of way about that. But Dawn, their roster is ass. Like, they need so many players. They need so many players at this point in time. I don't know how anybody, even if there was a clear and obvious, like this quarterback is guaranteed to make you a playoff contender year in and year out. I don't know how anybody could look at this roster and say, yeah, but like they have to have so many different swings at this thing. And I don't think, thrilled about the idea that they only have 2 picks in the top 100 right now. And they're not going to get great offers, though I think the Stafford thing helps them with him staying in Los Angeles. And I think, I can't believe Aaron Rodgers is who the New York Giants are going to target. But okay, fine. What the hell? Let them do it. And let's create an even greater scarcity at the quarterback position to drive that demand up. So there's nothing to say that they won't still pick their Dawn if they don't get a good enough if they don't get a good enough offer. But I just think that on the whole, if all things were equal, and they never are, they would like to trade it.
So if they would like to trade it, that means that they do not find generational talent, let's say, in one of those 2 quarterbacks, right? So, like, if they want to trade it, they want to trade it. And I guess, if that's true, then they got helped by Stafford re-signing.
Yes, I would agree with that assessment. Also, enough of the G word, enough of collaboration, enough of generational. Like these things,
yep.
they they don't mean that they're going to be generational NFL players, one, which I think that is something that needs to be taken into account by the audience. And we got a smart audience. They understand that, I think, for the most part, and certainly they're sick of me yelling it at them. But Travis Hunter is the only generational player in this draft because he's literally a player we've never seen before. Beyond that, like, Abdul Carter is not Myles Garrett, for example. Cam Ward is not assured to be Patrick Mahomes, even though they share similar skills and have tape that kind of reminds you of one another. If you watch it, there's nothing to guarantee that is going to translate that way. Honestly, when I heard generational talent, I'm like, oh, well, then they're in the Myles Garrett game too, because that's the only generational talent at NFL player that's available to be had with potentially a number one overall draft pick. But of course, that's not the case because they're not in the business of giving up more picks. At this point, they're trying to get more picks.
Okay, well, guess what? Patrick Mahomes, they didn't know Patrick Mahomes was going to be Patrick Mahomes when they picked him 10th either.
No, that's certainly true.
They didn't know he was going to be a generational talent like he is.
The question is there a guy that's intangibly rich that will elevate our ecosystem?
Oh, my gosh, I hate that.
Both of those two. I mean, I did Jacksonville. God love them. I don't know what to do with that at all. Other than you just kind of smile and wave, boys.
So I can make this argument with you though, because you said I don't know who can look at this roster and be good with picking at 1 overall and not moving back if you get something you're looking for, right? I can, because for me, it's all about the quarterback position, and I understand all the other holes, but are you not under the same thought process that I am of it's not that easy to just go find a quarterback? Like, okay, you don't pick a quarterback at 1. You move back, you get all these draft picks. What are you doing at quarterback? And I'm not just talking this year, I'm talking next year and for the future, because there could be a point where you have enough draft capital to move up to go get a quarterback next year, but you got to have a willing suitor too.
Yes, and that's true, Dawn. I'm operating under the assumption that they're telling the truth when they say that they are going to get patience here, that this does not have to be accomplished in one fell swoop this offseason, and that a quarterback plan, which, maybe is not a safe assumption given the fact that heads roll every 6 months with this organization at this point in time. Maybe they get it right this time. I sure as hell don't trust them to, but that's I've been asked by many people with this football team to, give them a clean slate, or try to, right? Try and put myself in a mindset, because God knows I've been tearing them down at every possible opportunity because I think they're full of something on a lot of this stuff. But, okay, let me then try and put myself in a mindset where you are actually going to get patience this time, and that you are actually going to be given the requisite time to get this thing right, or as right as can be gotten within the scope of a reasonable time frame, which to me is a 3-year period for a first-time general manager. Maybe it doesn't matter because she fired one after 2 years and then cited the record, like the general manager really has that much impact on the record. But I don't know how I can be expected, or how they can be expected to, if the quarterback, and again, if the quarterback is number 1 overall on their board, Dawn, by all means, do it. Do it. You must. You absolutely must take that player if you have him number 1 overall on your draft board. But if he's like 15, you can't justify that, and that's not an answer that we're ever going to have. So there is some thought here that they can have a little bit of patience with it, but fans aren't going to give them patience. And, a 7-win season, which would be a 4-win improvement, is not going to buy them overwhelming credit. And there's nothing to say that their coach is going to survive any of this stuff, because they're in a pretty tenuous position with a lot of these different things. And I really think that they have to kind of take their time with this and be diligent with it, And that may not necessarily be forcing the quarterback situation if they feel it's a force. We have no idea if they actually feel it's a force, but I get the vibe.
So let me ask you this. If you think they don't go quarterback at 1 and they don't have a good enough offer to get out of 1, what direction do you think they go?
So say that again. If they don't go quarterback at 1 and they don't have a good enough offer at 1,
A good enough offer to get out and move back,
then I would say Abdul Carter.
Okay.
I think he's the best player in the draft. I think there's a million different reasons why that makes sense for them. I think that as long as the Chiefs look like they can bleed, and you can do that with a team like Philadelphia or a front like Philadelphia, then that still gives you the ability to neutralize other quarterbacks while giving yourself the opportunity to find yours at some point down the road.
What kind of value does number 1 carry? Let's say the Giants move up to number 1. What do they get?
I mean, if they got a couple of second-round picks out of that, I would consider that a fair offer in this year's draft. They're
so
not
to move down
Caleb
2
Williams.
spots to get 2 second-round picks?
Yeah, 2 and 3, right? So you're not taking because 3 is about as far as I would be willing to let them trade back.
Right.
If I had any say over that situation. And I think if you went to 3 plus 2 additional second-round picks because you have 35 and no third-round pick right now, which I believe is 66 or 65 overall off the top of my head, that would at least balance out the fact that they don't have sufficient enough draft capital in the top 100 right now and would allow them to at least work towards their stated goal of 30 picks over the next 3 years, assuming that they get 3 years, and 12 of those picks being in the top 100, which, by the way, John Robinson basically did and just botched it the whole way through. John had 11 picks in the top 100 those last 3 years and basically continued to just light it on fire year after year after year. So you can still do that and make it seem not impossible and still foul this thing up if you're bad at this.
So the other day I said I would give anything to see Babs in the interview room. Like they get 45 interviews with these players, 18 minutes apiece. I would love to see Babs in that room asking questions. I also would love to see you have a say in the draft pick. That would be both of those things would be incredible television. We have to put it on TV, and I'm here for it.
Listen, anything involving Dawn and conflict, I'm here for. If you want to throw me in the mix, then maybe I can spice things up a little bit.
Can I ask you one more thing? Is Kirby behind you or in front of you, or are you guys just completely separate on the highway?
He was behind me, based on his sense of direction and his complete unwillingness to use a GPS system. I would assume he's 30 miles east of me at this point in time. I assume we're not even on the same highway.
Yeah, he's headed to Como. I love it. All right, hey Buck, thanks for taking the time to grace us with your presence.
Yes.
That sounded very disingenuous, and you both know that I love you, and I will do this anytime that you ask me, even though if you never ask me again because of this, I would understand.
Okay, well, good to know about your show changes with Bert now in charge.
Oh, yeah, what the hell is that? Like, how did I get shafted? I leave for a week, and they put Bert back on my show after I spent 2 years trying to get rid of him? No, this is garbage.
See you, buddy. Drive safely.
Bye, kids.
All right.
See you, Buck.
Love you, Buck. There he is, Buck Rising.
Yes.
10-1 weekdays on 104.5 The Zone. Yeah, there was a little controversy. Do you know about this? That Bert has like a managerial role now?
Yeah, I knew about that.
Right, but like, did you know that it impacted Buck Rising?
I did.
So what Bert said today, he opened his mic and said, now that I'm in charge, Lucas Panzica is the host of this show. We'll keep the same name. And Buck said that's fine because he's vain. So he just cares about the name of the show being his name.
Sounds like Buck.
When we come back, Athletes Unlimited, AUProsports.com, little announcement that they've got for us next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I want to tell you about my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. That is where you will find the best vehicle buying experience you will have ever found. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, again, 3450 Tom Austin Highway, Springfield, Tennessee. Get it done this weekend. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a while. Now is the time. Just let them know what you're looking for. Maybe you need more space. Maybe you need better gas mileage. Maybe you need something a little bit cheaper. Whatever you need, let them know. They will point you in the right direction. You can take your test drive. Go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All of the dealership information is there. Address, phone number, inventory, both new and pre-owned, and all the deals they have going on in February. Some of those deals include 2024 Jeep Gladiators up to 25% off MSRP, $500 off every pre-owned vehicle with dealer-arranged financing. Huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. You can check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. Select 2024 Jeep Wranglers up to 15% off MSRP. Ram 3500, 4500, 5500 in stock, upfitted, and ready for all of your commercial needs. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Again, check them out online. That's GuptonMotors.com. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
What's happening, y'all? If you grew up in the Nashville area and that little kid is still jumping out of you, you need to hurry up and get over there to Shoney's. I grew up on it. I'm sure some of you guys did too. Some of the favorite things are still right there at Shoney's. They're always fresh, always delicious food, of course, and a spot where I've made great memories together with friends and family, even when I had to make my own lemonade. Yep, that was to get a bowl of lemons and then get some sweet and low and put it in there and stir it up. And yeah, that was my lemonade. But other than that, check out Shoney's All You Care to Eat fresh food bar for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or you can order a delicious meal with Shoney's extensive menu. The Shoney's All-American Burger is one of the best burgers in town. That's in my opinion. Now let's talk about the desserts. You know mine, the world-famous hot fudge cake. However, for the non-chocolate lovers, you got strawberry pie. It's phenomenal too. Locations are Clarksville, Dixon, Lebanon, and on Donaldson Pike right here in Nashville. It's Shoney's, always fresh, always delicious. Let's eat.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you on a beautiful Friday in the Music City.
Gorgeous.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's been an incredible week.
I spent some time this morning watching some pretty talented female athletes practice basketball.
Did you?
Yes.
You will be involved. It is the last couple of days for Athletes Unlimited. AUProsports.com is how you can get tickets. It looks great on ESPN Plus, I'll tell you that. I know you've been involved working on the sidelines. The product looks phenomenal. The game looks great, too.
Yeah.
Like the level of play is really, really good.
I mean, you've got a ton of W girls playing in this league and players who have basically just gotten like training camp contracts and all of that. So it's been really fun to watch.
Awesome. Megan Perry, VP of Basketball, joins us now talking about Athletes Unlimited. Megan, what's up? How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be with you. Thanks for the opportunity to chat hoops with you.
Hey, thanks for hopping on. Big announcement today involving Nashville.
We had a little something up our sleeve, and yes, we are so excited to announce that AU Pro Basketball would love to make Nashville the home of what we want to bring to Music City. We signed a multi-year deal, and we are really thrilled to be able to bring professional women's basketball back to this community. So we're thrilled about that.
I love it. And I have obviously had the luxury of, being on the sideline, watching the product, all of that. How have you kind of seen it grow even from, the first week of the season to now as we head into the final week of the season here in Nashville?
I think overall I've been most impressed by just like the continued growth week after week. We have set record upon record here in Nashville, the way that this community has continued to embrace us and our athletes. We are most impressed with obviously the butts and seats. But in general, I think it's just how the community has embraced the warmth, how they show up in our autograph lines, the commentary, the ask for us to be back and to do more and to be excited about us announcing our return. I think just every single week we've seen our metrics continue to grow. And my overall commentary is that it's up and we want to continue that momentum. So we're just excited that this community is just excited about us.
I think some people that don't come here or aren't often in Tennessee don't realize what a hotbed for women's basketball this place is.
Oh, it really is.
High school to college to now pro. I mean, there's some really talented athletes that come out of this area. And there's a really big support system for women's basketball. And part of that we can thank Coach Summit for,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when we were looking at, where do we want to go, our goal with AU Pro Basketball is to make a destination for fans and for our staff and players so that they know where to find off-season professional women's basketball here domestically. And the rich history that exists on the collegiate landscape, Pat Summit being a big part of that for sure. But just like how the fans have shown up and demanded year after year, it only makes sense to provide the opportunity for them to experience what that next professional level is. And so, we've opened our arms and embraced us, and they're hugging us right back.
Obviously, you want people to show up, and the live action deal is much better. But I've checked it out on ESPN Plus, and the presentation of the product is phenomenal in terms of television. And I know you want butts and seats, but I think that television deal is coming, and it's presented so well that way. And props to you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I mean, we have a lot of confidence. We know the product that we put out there on the court. And, I have to give a shout out to our game presentation team, our video and broadcast team. They have really put together, I think, an elite product. And the opportunity to showcase that to more and more people is something that we are excited about. And I, look forward to being able to share, increases in that area, hopefully sooner than later. But thanks so much for that. We've created an awesome environment in arena and for fans that are catching their games online and on linear television.
All right, now we got to talk about some people are confused by how it all works because there's an individual champion. We change teams every week. There's a draft. The top 4 players on the leaderboard are basically the ones that are captains that get to draft their team. So We are in the final week. Final 2 games, Saturday and Sunday, which I'll be on the sideline Saturday. So y'all come watch great basketball and say hi to me while you're there. But kind of explain, I guess, how much this has amped up as everybody is chasing after Maddie Segrist, who is at the top of the leaderboard, and how this whole thing works with just one champion come Sunday.
Yeah, well, you did a really good job of explaining overall, but I'll kind of back up. And the first thing I always tell people, AU Pro Basketball, at its core, it's 5-on-5 basketball. It's what our fans and the community know and love already. But what we've layered on top of that format, we are player-driven, player-led down to the format. So we have 40 players spread across 4 teams, and the top 4 finishers on the AU Pro Basketball leaderboard are identified as captains each week. And they have the opportunity to select their teams via a weekly draft so that things change up from week to week. So that's that part. What's really cool and why every moment counts in AU Pro Basketball is that our players earn points with each positive play that they make as an individual and or as a team. There's also negative points. So those calculations are totaled, and that determines where they fall on the leaderboard. And then this last week, it's really cool to see the intensity ratcheted up because it's not just about winning the games. Our players get points for winning the quarter. So the score could be 120 to 100, but if you have the opportunity to outscore that other team, and that's in the quarter, our players are strategizing and competing to do so. So we have a really engaging product that we offer for the full 40 minutes. And what you're going to see in this final weekend as we go into championship weekend is our players vying for that top spot on the leaderboard coming down into, the final weekend matchup. So they're going to give it their very best, and we'll see how the numbers shake out.
There's no plays off in this.
No, and it's really cool how that player component is set up, too, because it's not like – I don't want people to think it's like ball hog time,
No,
at all, because you get team elements and components to your point system.
And Izzy Harrison actually told me last week, she was like, it actually makes you play more team basketball because the quarter points and the win the game points are so important to you being successful. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Our scoring system is uniquely designed to incentivize both team play and individual play, but there is a heavy weight placed on team performance. So you cannot come out and think you're going to be a ball hog, high usage, and that you will dominate. No, it is structured so that you kind of have to be the best at both.
Yeah.
And so we found a sweet spot there, and it's really fun to watch that play out.
Yeah, I would not have done well. I was a volume shooter.
Well, you know what? It's okay. We have some volume shooters, but they got to be surrounded with some other individuals.
That's right.
Other contributions, right?
Megan,
everybody has a role, right? Everybody has a role.
Megan, really appreciate you hopping on. Good luck on Saturday and Sunday. Congrats on the success, and we look forward to this every year.
Oh, thanks so much. We look forward to having you guys out and continuing the conversation and growing, AU Pro Basketball in Nashville.
There she is, Megan Perry, VP of Basketball Athletes Unlimited.
See you tomorrow.
AUProsports.com is where you can get tickets. And you'll be out there tomorrow, 3 and 5:30, the doubleheader.
Yeah.
At Municipal Auditorium.
Let's go.
Sunday, 3 and 5:30. You can check them out whatever day works for you, or maybe both days. Again, tickets, auprosports.com. Interesting conversation from Buck Rising in terms of what he thinks the Titans would gain compensation-wise moving from 1 to 3 should the Giants make that deal. Couple of second-round picks, maybe a second and a third. Are you good with that? 615-737-1045. Weigh in. We would love to hear from you, Zeph Dog.
Before we go to break, a little combine number update. In the vertical, Nick Emanawari, the defensive back out of South Carolina, 43 inches in the vert.
Woo.
Whoa.
Yeah, he almost passed me, man. Got to keep my training up. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 this.
Yee.
No roof allowed. Nope. But GameDayMen'sHealth.com, you need to get active, people. It's time for you to get in the game. And I'm talking to my fellas out there. If you have an opportunity to get to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, all you got to do is call 615-898-9367. See how I took the excuse right out of it? You don't have to get there. You can just call or text 615-898-9367. Did you know that half of all the men would struggle with erectile dysfunction at some point in their lives? I'm talking about half of them. That doesn't have to be your normal, though. Nope. This is where Game Day Men's Health comes in. ED issues can be caused by any number of things. Could be testosterone, could be something else. Bottom line, you don't know until you go see Game Day. You got 2 different locations to go to, Green Hills or Hendersonville. Grab your phone, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Top of the page, click Book Appointment. Pull up to one of those 2 locations. Name, phone number, and email address is all you need. That's it. Someone from Game Day will hit you up. In 15 minutes, you'll get your lab results back. You'll meet with a medical expert, and boom, you're ready to get to it. 615-898-9367 is the number. Get in the game today with GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. In NFL news today, the Rams have agreed to terms with quarterback Matthew Stafford on a restructured contract, keeping him in L.A. for the foreseeable future. Stafford, who was allowed to visit with other teams to seek a potential trade, found interest from the Giants and Raiders, but was able to work out a deal with the Rams. Day 2 of workouts at the NFL Combine is underway as the defensive backs and tight ends go through their drills. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs spoke with the media today. They will test tomorrow at noon. Tennessee baseball begins a 3-game weekend today at the Astros Foundation College Classic in Houston. Vols currently facing off against number 16 Oklahoma State down there in the Lone Star State. Liam Doyle on the mound. Tennessee with a 1-0 lead thanks to a homer in the first inning by Gavin Killen. This weekend in college hoops, number 1, Auburn on the road versus number 17, Kentucky at noon. Number 5, Tennessee hosting number 6, Alabama in a top 10 matchup. Tip-off for that one is at 3 o'clock. You can catch Vol Network coverage of the game right here on the Zone starting at 2:30. Vanderbilt hosting number 14, Missouri at 5. Number 3, Florida hosting number 12, Texas A&M at 7:30. For your foundation repair, whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome in. This is 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. Dawn Davenport here. We are powered by Ferguson Home. Love to be able to say that nowadays. Ron Slay is on assignment. Do we have a mayor intro?
I mean, can you even play it now?
No. Let's go.
Thank you,
Listen,
Babsy.
We haven't done that in a long time. Thanks to Rhett B, Tennessee.
What is going on with Tennessee baseball? What is this? They're playing in Houston, right?
Yes, they are up 1-0 on 16th ranked Oklahoma State. I know
Check it.
Don loves these
Check it.
baseball updates.
Listen, at least it's
it's 2-0 now.
at least it's a ranked team.
They just scored.
At least it's a ranked team. I'll give you this. You can go ahead and talk about this one, okay?
Oh,
because the other one, when it was like 20-0, who cares?
All right, so we're going to spend the rest of the show on this, Brent. You ready?
No.
So where do you guys come down? Where do
We
you
don't
guys
talk football.
Where do you guys come down on this? Because a lot of fans don't like the blowout football game. Like, you know what? Like Tennessee plays, I don't know, Missouri State in football, let's say.
Right.
And you know they're going to win 68-0 or whatever it's going to be. Do you enjoy those games, or do you sit at home and complain about them, wishing they were playing someone more significant?
For baseball, they play
I'm not talking about baseball. I'm talking about football.
For football?
Yeah.
Well, now it doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter how hard your schedule is. You just need wins at this point. That's why Nebraska.
I get it, but as a fan, I'm talking aesthetically. Do you like to go to games where you know your team is going to blow out the opponent? There's no drama involved at all, or would you rather than play a ranked team every single week?
I'm just gonna throw this out here.
All right.
Georgia State.
Listen, we're a long way away from 2019, Dawn.
Just saying.
Do we want to go through Auburn's schedule last year? The year before?
I just wanted to point. I mean, listen, you can say UMass. I get it. I just want to point that out.
In all seriousness.
Yeah. In all
Are
seriousness.
you good with going, do you get excited when Auburn has a chance to blow somebody out and put up a bunch of stats and score a bunch of touchdowns?
Yes. Do you know why?
I do too.
Okay. And part of it too is because although who knows nowadays with the transfer portal and all of that, but in the past, it has given you a chance to get an eye on the future of your team too. If you are in that blowout, then okay, you can rest some of your starters, second half, you can kind of get a look into the future and what that looks like. And the guys that are going to be coming after the stars will get real life in-game experience. And I think it's super important. So that's my take on football. And football's so different from baseball because there's not that many games.
As a kid, I used to love, so my grandparents had 3 season tickets to Tennessee football games. So when I moved back to Nashville in 1984, we started going back to games. So the first game I went to was Tennessee-Washington State, and we went and I obviously you loved playing the good teams, right? Like I told the story about Tennessee playing number 1 Notre Dame in 1990 in Neyland Stadium and what that meant. Like I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Right. But I also liked them playing Wake Forest and beating the hell out of them or whatever it was. Like as a kid, I loved seeing my favorite team score a bunch of touchdowns and blah, blah, blah. But I do understand people that get upset about spending money to go see non-drama and all those things. I was just curious where you guys came down on it. And generationally speaking, I always love asking these questions while we have a 23-year-old as a part of the show.
Yeah, what do you
know
think,
what I mean?
Zeph?
I'm fine with them playing the cupcakes, at least a couple of them, because I just know the SEC schedule can get so brutal at times, especially with Tennessee, or when Tennessee was constantly playing, Georgia and Florida, Alabama every single year. Now I think that's going to be changing because of the addition of Texas and Oklahoma.
Yep.
Again, 2 other pretty big programs
of course.
when it comes to football.
So I was just curious about all that. Slay has been texting us. He's got the reason why he's not on the show today is he's got you're locked into however they want to fly you to Gainesville. That's how you have to do it.
Well, I hate to tell you, Gainesville is the hardest place to get to. And
that's
I know
what I'm saying.
My best friend lives in Pensacola. Her little baby.
Your ex-wife?
Yes. Her little baby got super sick.
Yes.
Ended up having to be airlifted.
Oh, she put pictures out there.
I know, sweet boy. He's only a year old. And it's basically like this really super type A strep infection that took over his entire body. Like if they had not have transported him to Florida's Children's Hospital right there in Gainesville, they would have lost him. And it's a very scary thing. It
was a dire situation. Yes.
Dire situation, hence the airlifted there. But he's on the mend, so good news. But all that to say, I was looking at how to get to Gainesville. This is before Slay's game. And first of all, super expensive flight.
Yeah.
Second of all, you can't get there from Nashville. So it's Nashville, Atlanta to Gainesville, and most likely that's a Delta flight, And that's exactly what Slay's having to do because it's just not an easy place to get to, and it's super expensive right now. So
he sent us a picture. He was on 65. He said it boards at 3:30, and he sent the picture at like 3:04 p.m. and he was still on the interstate.
Oh.
And so he goes, boards at 3:30. I haven't RSVP'd either.
Yeah, to Zeph's wedding.
And so, oh yeah, that's right. And then Slay said, last one to board, first time running through the airport, LOL.
Can you imagine a 6'8" man who, let's be honest, the Kellum stem cell has helped him, but he's still a little rocky moving now that he's traveling every week.
I haven't seen him run.
No.
I've never seen him run.
I mean, and
he's a big man.
He walks too slow for my taste. Remember? I'm like, dude, you got to speed it up,
right,
man.
But you run walk. It's like an Olympic event, you walking through an airport.
Right.
So I wrote, holy F balls OJ. So if you're old enough, you remember the O.J. Simpson
Zeph did not know what you were talking
Hertz
about.
commercials where he was running through the airport and like jumping over chairs and people and all these things. Zeph did not get it. Slay goes, right, this is a dumb flight too, which I didn't. I don't even understand what he means by that.
He's saying the Nashville to Atlanta, why don't people drive?
38 minutes, he said.
Let me tell you why people don't drive. Because my family lives in Atlanta and I have not made that drive in, I would say, 10 years. I make my husband drive it with my stepson, and then me and baby Babs hop on a plane because that drive is awful.
It's actually kind of fun. It's like a not an Olympic event, but like a
kind of, because you never know how long it's going to take you.
Number one, there's always traffic in Chattanooga, no matter what time of day it is. It can be 12 o'clock in the afternoon, rush hour, 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to get caught in traffic because whoever built that interstate system through there going around that mountain is ridiculous and should be dead if he's not already.
Oh my gosh, Mayor. Okay.
But then the other part of that is once you come out of Chattanooga, It's the Autobahn, dude. I joke about like going, as long as there's no obstruction going to Clarksville, everyone's going 100 miles an hour. And if you don't, you're going to get run over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from Chattanooga to Atlanta, and you know it's true.
Yep.
Everybody's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I haven't done it in a while either, but yeah. So 38 minutes, that's what that flight is?
Yeah.
So you go from the central time zone to the eastern time zone. So you leave at 5 o'clock. Let's say you leave at 5 o'clock Nashville time. You get there at 5:38 Central, 6:30. Oh, so coming back from Atlanta.
Yeah.
You leave
coming
Atlanta
back,
at 5.
And you get here at like
4:38. How about that?
Yeah.
Time traveler. Do you have what Buck happened to say about compensation for the number one pick?
I actually just pulled that.
Moving down from 1 to 3. Before we get there,
Yeah, let's talk about that because I think it's interesting.
I think it is too. And actually, we're up against a break, so we'll do it when we come back. But before we break, you are not, again, officially not working at Cracker Barrel this weekend because we've had multiple listeners asking what shift you were working this weekend.
I will not be there.
You work 1 day a week, and you're not going to be there.
Yeah, I like to call out occasionally.
Wait, are you going to call out or you straight didn't get scheduled?
I told them not to schedule it this week.
Okay, good. Good. I didn't want you to, get fired.
So then you work 1 day in almost 3 weeks. What are you doing?
I mean,
Slacker.
at this point, it's
What is that worth to you?
really nothing.
Just seeing our guy Keith? I know Keith's a great dude.
He's not even there most of the time I'm there.
Okay. Shout out Keith at Cracker Barrel. All right. When we come back, we asked Buck Rising. He's been at the NFL Combine all week in Indianapolis. If the Titans move from 1 to 3, what does that compensation package look like? And we'll play what he said and then ask you if that's enough. 615-737-1045. Ryan, Uncle Bob, Reese, and Laura, hang tight. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, man? Brentwood Jewelry, BrentwoodJewelry.com. You need a hustle on over there. Why wouldn't you? Because when it comes to exceptional styles and the deals that they bring, it's been happening every day. How long, Slay? For over 50 years. I'm telling you that right now. 7012 Church Street East, located smack dead, boom, in the middle of Brentwood, the heart of it, just off Franklin Road. So you want to go get involved in this engagement? Let me give you 3 things you're going to look for. First, you're going to ask your partner, how involved they want to be in choosing the ring. Second, discuss the expectations, not just what style of ring or cut of the diamond. Talk about other expectations too, like the proposal. See, these are things that Zeph knew walking into it. That's why he's on his way. That's why a guy like Will Lee Bowling is on his way. Now, if she wants to be involved, stop by Brentwood Jewelry to browse for rings together and get valuable feedback. If she wants to be surprised, start a conversation, and Brandon and them will take care of it, kind of like your boy did. You get that? Exceptional style, exceptional deals every single day for over 50 years. It won't stop. It's BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Three HL 1045 The Zone, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport. Friday, Babsy.
Yo. I love me some Friday.
Zeph Dog, what are you doing?
I've got this clip from Buck Rising.
Oh, you do?
Let's talk about it.
What's the Tennessee baseball update? Don was asking during the break.
No.
It's 2-0, Don, by the way.
Great.
Gavin Killen, the Louisville second baseman transfer, two
Is
home
he
runs
killing
today.
it?
Yeah.
He is. 2 home runs today.
Pun fully
We'll
intended.
never hear that, right?
Saturday basketball, we'll talk more about this in just a little bit. Number 1, Auburn at number 17, Kentucky, noon on ABC. Arkansas at South Carolina, noon on the SEC Network. Oklahoma at Ole Miss, 1 o'clock ESPN2. LSU at number 24, Mississippi State, 2:30 SEC Network. Number 6, Alabama against number 5, Tennessee, 3 o'clock ESPN. Who wins, Steph?
I got Tennessee.
Shocker.
Shocker.
At home. They're good at home.
Yeah, I get it. Vols have won. They are 6-1 at home in the SEC. Alabama is 6-1 on the road in the SEC.
Wow. Two strengths going head to head.
Mark Sears against the Guy Ziegler. That'll be good. Missouri, number 14 in the country, at Vanderbilt. How about Vandy's win over Texas A&M on the road?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Was that 3 straight losses for A&M now?
Yes. And I'll get to them in just a second. Matchup predictor makes this basically a 50-50 game, Missouri and Vanderbilt. So if you're looking for something to do, 5 o'clock SEC Network, or you can go to Memorial Gym.
Give me Vandy.
I think Vandy also. Georgia at Texas, 7 o'clock ESPN2. Number 12, Texas A&M at number 3, Florida. Slay Dog on the call. How great did he do in Arkansas the other night?
Yeah, and it was fun to hear his take on Cal.
So Tyler Reese, when I was walking in today, said that his wife, whenever they have like sports on, just never pays attention. She was so into everything Slay was saying.
Yeah.
Is what he was telling me walking in.
Slay's great, but like getting paired with Tom Hart, those two together are really, really good.
Well, because Tom Hart
loves
funny.
Slay. And he loves Slay. But it feels like, doesn't it feel like, and you've been doing this a long time, I have too, not on that level, obviously, but it feels like they have been doing games together like that was their 300th game together. Like they're so comfortable with each other.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Tom's just kind of like that, and Slay is too.
I was going to say, I feel like you can put Tom with anybody and he'll pull that out of them, and then you can put Slay with anybody and he'll pull that out of them. So
great combination.
Great combo, yes.
I'm glad he's getting to do more and more games. So he'll be on the call, SEC Network, 7:30.
Finding Dory reference during
Did he?
He said
just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Keep swimming. And I said this yesterday on the air. Unfortunately, with this game starting so late, I had it on the TV. I was trying to get baby Babs to go to bed because it was past her bedtime by the time he even tipped, and she threw a fit.
Watching Slay.
Loves watching Slay. Well, then, so she could hear him but not see him. And she just lost it. Full-on tantrum of, I'm not going to bed till I see Uncle Slay. I got to see Uncle Slay. I'm like, oh, for the love of all that's holy, please just put them on camera for 2 seconds so I can get this child to go to bed.
That is outstanding.
Yeah.
Did you have something to say?
Oh, Nick Minowari for South Carolina at 6'3" and a little over 6'3" and 230 pounds, just ran a 4.4.
Woo! And the 43-inch vertical.
Woo!
And talk about explosiveness, quick twitch.
See, and
that dude's making money.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Those kind of players putting up these numbers, definitely making themselves.
Hey, definitely break into us with anything combine related.
Yes.
Shamar Stewart, I know you guys talked. What did Slay say about Coach Cal?
I mean, you can go back and listen on the podcast, but because I was curious how
he hadn't met him before,
was.
Which is crazy.
No, but Cal remembered him because that Tennessee team fought in the tunnel with that Kentucky team when Slay played that year, and Cal remembered the dust up there.
Yeah, Slay said he wasn't going to bring it up. He was going to wait to see if Cal brought it up.
Yeah.
And then, halfway through their conversation, he said that Cal was just like, you were on that team with Vincent Yarbrough and all of them. They got a little scuffle, right? And he goes, yeah, I was.
Said it wasn't me. Wasn't me, Coach.
That's funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was interested in how is Cal with a new program, with new pressure, all of that. And Memphis. It was Memphis, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so it was just interesting to kind of hear how, Cal's still the same, but maybe a little bit looser nowadays. You know what I mean?
He's the kind of guy, if you think you hate him and then you meet him, you will love him within 5 minutes.
Agreed.
Like, he's just one of those dudes.
Yep.
So, yeah. Shamar Stewart, I know Slay's been intrigued by him, and he had a huge combine yesterday.
Yeah, measured in at 6'5", 267 pounds, with an arm length of 34 1/8. His 40-yard dash was a 4.59. His 10-yard split was a 1.58.
Wait, 4.59.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable for a man
For that
that size.
His 10-yard split was a 1.58, which is what they look at mostly for these defensive linemen, which is incredible. His vert was a 40, which we already talked about, and his broad jump was a 10.11.
Wow. I mean, they're saying those are the best numbers for a defensive lineman since 1997 or something.
So a stat popped up on Twitter yesterday that I told Don and Slay. Out of all the defensive linemen who are at least 260 pounds, there have only been 4 that have reached 40 inches in the vertical. It was Myles Garrett, Mario Williams, 2 number 1 overall picks. And then this year, Landon Jackson out of Arkansas and Shamar Stewart.
Wow. Freak show. All right, cool. So the Titans have the number 1 pick. So the news today, Matthew Stafford re-signing, hadn't officially done it. They say they're going to get it done within the next week or whatever, but the Rams did post a pic of Stafford with "he's back" and wrote, "Allow me to reintroduce myself." My name is Humpty.
How funny would it be if they couldn't come to terms and they have to?
I was going to say, I'm not sure I'd be saying all this unless it's signed, sealed, delivered. Right?
Look
You
at
just
Zev laughing.
never know in this business.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I guess they feel good about it to go that far. I don't know.
So
They agree in terms, and then they just have to legally get it written up. I don't know. We are up against the weekend, so there is that. But Stafford re-signing gives more value to the Titans having the number 1 overall pick, right? Because the rumors about Stafford were Minnesota if they do something with Sam Darnold, but certainly the Giants and the Raiders. Mm-hmm. So now the Giants and their general manager walks out of the combine with the Titans general manager, and everybody's going crazy today. So what would the value be if the Titans move back from number 1 overall to number 3 overall? We asked Buck Rising, who has been in Indianapolis all week covering the combine.
I mean, if they got a couple of second-round picks out of that, I would consider that a fair offer in this year's draft. They're
so
not
to move down
Caleb
2
Williams.
spots to get 2 second-round picks?
Yeah, 2 and 3, right? So you're not taking because 3 is about as far as I would be willing to let them trade back.
Right.
If I had any say over that situation. And I think if you went to 3 plus 2 additional second-round picks because you have 35 and no third-round pick right now, which I believe is 66 or 65 overall off the top of my head, that would at least balance out the fact that they don't have sufficient enough draft capital in the top 100 right now and would allow them to at least work towards their stated goal of 30 picks over the next 3 years, assuming that they get 3 years, and 12 of those picks being in the top 100, which, by the way, John Robinson basically did and just botched it the whole way through. John had 11 picks in the top 100 those last 3 years and basically continued to just light it on fire year after year after year. So you can still do that and make it seem not impossible and still foul this thing up if you're bad at it.
Would you do it?
no.
I don't know. Here's the problem. If they love one of the quarterbacks, they're going to stick and pick at number 1 without question. If they don't, then yeah, it makes sense to move down to 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you would want more than a second and a third or 2 second, like a second this year and a second next
but then,
year.
I mean, you're only moving down 2 spots.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And then you probably still get the guy you want.
Exactly.
That's an intriguing little nugget, I think.
So my no is because I want them
Cam
to
Ward.
stick and pick a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, if there is absolutely no circumstance that they are going to stick and pick a quarterback, then absolutely I'd take that for 2 second rounds. And then guess what? Here comes Mr. Bab's scenario where they move back again and get more draft picks. I mean, it could hypothetically happen.
Yeah, so Mr.
Absolutely.
Babs, like a month ago, said, I have them moving back to 3 and then trading from 3 to 7 or whatever he said, and then trading from 7 to 11, taking an offensive lineman and coming away with all of these picks.
Yep.
Because they have so many holes to fill. And, I mean, if you could get it done, that would be
Well, I mean,
ideal to a lot of
that
people.
would be the first step.
Right.
That would be the first step.
615-737-1045. Zeph, would you do it?
If they knew.
What would you want to move down from 1 to 3? 2 second rounders, like one this year, one next year, or a second this year and a third this year because they don't have a third. So then they would have the number 3 pick, 2 second rounders, a third rounder, 3 fourth rounders.
I would need 2 picks this year and another pick next year, whether it's a third next year or fourth next year.
I'm with you on that. I'm down. I am down with that.
Like, if you get a second and a third this year, give me a third or a fourth for next year. We're good.
Unless you do all your due diligence on Cam Ward, let's say, and you love him, then take him. Because it's hard to find that quarterback you love, right? Like, and you have the opportunity to take the best quarterback in the draft.
Can I just bring this up again? Okay, let's say you get all of this draft collateral and you get all these picks you guys are talking about for next year. Guess what? You're about to lose them all because you're going to have to go find yourself a quarterback. Because we all know there's not a veteran that is available that isn't overpriced or not a franchise guy. So your way to get a quarterback long-term is through the draft.
So what if you get a second and a third and then under Zeph's plan, which I love, another pick next year, but then you go down to 3. You probably could get Shedeur there if you really liked him.
Let's say the Browns take Abdul Carter.
Right.
Because
they're losing Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett isn't going to be there.
Or let's just say they take Travis Hunter or whoever they take. They take who they take at 3. Then they have a second round pick, a third round pick, 3 fourth round picks that literally could turn 3 fourths into a third easily, and still have a fourth, right? That way you're filling holes. You haven't addressed quarterback, but maybe you address quarterback next year. And maybe you trot Will Levis back out there this year.
How do you address quarterback next year?
It's a much better class.
How do you address quarterback next year?
Maybe you end up with Arch Manning. Maybe you end up with Nico. Maybe you end up with Aller. Maybe you end up with Klubnik. Maybe you end up with, I don't know. I mean, there's a huge class next year.
So I want to say that, like, if they're not in love with one of these two guys, I would trade back and get the picks because I wouldn't want to use that. I wouldn't want to waste having that being able to bring that capital in if you're not going to be in love with one of these guys and know for sure that they can be a franchise player for the next however many years.
I say this?
But after listening to the full media interviews with Shedeur and Cam Ward today, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be really, really hard for a single team to not fall in love with either of these guys. Because I listened to all 13 minutes of Shedeur Sanders today, and I flipped on him like almost instantly.
He's pretty likable.
It is really,
he's really smart.
It
too.
is really, and I can only imagine what he's like in those meeting rooms when it's just him and the team.
Here are some of the quarterbacks next year: Garrett Nussmeier, Arch Manning, Cade Klubnik. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver, might be worth something. Although technically he'll be a sophomore, so you have to wait on him. Lenora Sellers, potentially. No, he was a freshman this year. Drew Aller, Carson Beck, DJ Lagway. You don't like that group? I mean, it's better than this group.
I mean, my whole thing with it is you're picking number 1. And I totally understand the Cam Ward that, this quarterback class is not legit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, tell me where Cam Ward would match up with those quarterbacks next year.
I think
who would go higher who would be ahead of Cam Ward?
Well,
now.
I think potentially Arch Manning could with a year of starting every game.
But he has, who knows?
Who knows?
We know
That's why I said
nothing
potentially.
about Arch Manning as a
outside of Arch Manning having a huge year. Because, look, I mean, there's a romantic thing with the Manning family and Arch Manning,
Absolutely.
and everybody will lift him up and all these things, right? You know it. I know it. All God's children know it.
It will absolutely happen.
It's going to happen. Outside of that, I think he would be first. Now we go to Matt Miller, who told us that neither one of the two quarterbacks would have gone ahead of any of the 6 last year that went in the first round. My thing is, like, as we get closer to the draft, do guys like that change their tone a little bit? You know, do we have like a movement in narrative as we get closer to the draft? That always happens. But, you know, every time I think that, I think about Kenny Pickett. Literally every time I think that, I think Kenny Pickett's draft where he was the only quarterback taken in the first round, and he's not good.
But he wasn't taken. There was never any talk that he was going to be taken 1 overall.
No, that's true.
He was never even in that conversation. Where did he end up going?
He went.
No, I'm sorry, number-wise.
Oh, it was.
Was it like 8 or 9 or 10, somewhere in there?
No, it was in the teens.
I think it was further than that.
It was mid to late first round.
Yeah, I think that's I think part of my issue is that everybody's grouping this entire quarterback class as a whole
20.
together. I'm telling you, he wasn't even in top 10 talk. Cam Ward is in top 10 talk. Now, you could argue that maybe Shedeur is not in top 10 first round pick talk as a quarterback. You could argue that by some of the experts. But as far as Cam Ward, I mean, there are everybody's grouping this entire quarterback class together as one. Oh, this is a really weak class. But you're the Titans. You have the number 1 pick. All you need is 1. And to me, Cam Ward is that 1. You know, he is not like a Kenny Pickett. Nobody expected Kenny Pickett to go in the top 10, period. Nobody expected that.
I wasn't trying to compare Cam Ward to Kenny Pickett.
No.
I was just trying to compare the draft classes.
Which is what I'm trying to give an example of. Even if the rest of the quarterback class is weak, you're picking 1 as the Titans. So all you need is the top 1, and that's all that matters. So we can talk about how weak the quarterback class is overall. I think that Cam Ward is still a legit top quarterback pick.
Right. And we all in the moment thought that Kenny Pickett was not going to be a good NFL quarterback. We all thought that.
Right.
And he's not. Maybe he turns into...
Wasn't his hand size a big conversation?
Hands. Yep. Small hand guy.
Ramon, I had a long conversation with Ramon about it because he was like, you don't understand till you put the 2 balls next to each other in your hands what a difference
Pro in
it
college.
makes. Yep. The Duke.
Uncle Bob in Spring Hill. Uncle Bob, what's up?
Hey, real quick, all this lot of talk. I'll go back to Al Davis. Just win, baby. Just win.
Yep. And guess what? You need a quarterback to do it, Uncle Bob.
Yeah. God bless y'all. Bye.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
God bless you.
Okay. You be with a quick in and out on a Friday.
Little combine update.
What you got?
Nick Aminawari ran his second one. Got faster, 4.38.
Jeez.
At 6'3".
South Carolina's got, 8 defensive players there?
Yeah.
I mean, they were loaded.
I mean, we said all year long, you do not want to play that Gamecock defense, right?
Your boy Killen almost hit his 3rd homer of the day.
Well, he's just killing it.
Warning track power there. 615-737-1045, Babsy. Would you do it? Move down from 1 to 3 and pick up a 2nd rounder, a 3rd rounder, and then another pick in 2026. 615-737-1045. Plus, you're going to hear from Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, who met with the media today. Also, Cam Ward announced today that he will not throw at the Combine. Big shocker there. He will throw at his pro day. We've got more from him about that.
Also, news from Auburn and Hugh Freeze.
Not good. We'll be right back. 3HL. If you want something to do this weekend, that's fun, and it's a great product and great for you to hang out with your friends, maybe your family. You can go see Belmont basketball. They are in action. The home slate is winding down for Belmont, and you can catch the men's and the women's teams in action this Saturday and Sunday, March 1st and 2nd at the Curb Event Center. Tickets starting at just $10. You can purchase at the door, or you can check out BelmontBruins.com for schedule and ticket information. I know the men's team is hosting Murray State at 2 o'clock on Sunday. They've got, 1, 2, 3. They've won 3 out of their last 4, and you can check them out. Bruin fans, single game tickets on sale for this weekend. Make sure you stop by the ticket office or go online, purchase at BelmontBruins.com. Don't miss out on all the free giveaways and promotions that they have rolling in the Curb Event Center. Tickets starting at just $10. Ticket representatives are standing by now. If you want to do it this way, you can easily text them or call them at 615-460-BALL. If you text, someone will text you back right away. Again, that's 615-460-2255 or BelmontBruins.com. Belmont basketball, it's Bruin time. Men's and women's teams in effect this weekend. Check out BelmontBruins.com. Three HL 104.5, the Zone. Big news of the day coming out of the NFL. Matthew Stafford is re-signing with the Rams. Gives value to the Titans picking out one because the Giants were one of the teams rumored to be interested in Matthew Stafford. Now, if they want a quarterback, maybe they are incentivized to trade up to 1. We talked with Buck Rising about that. He thinks that it's 2 second-round picks, maybe a second and a third, to move from 1 to 3. And so we'll see how that works out. Would you do it is one question we've asked, 615-737-1045. If you want to watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Babsy Davenport. Some kind of sad news but also hopeful news out of Auburn.
I would say definitely hopeful news. Auburn football releasing the news saying the Auburn family is with you, Coach Freeze. Recently, Coach Freeze was diagnosed with an early form of prostate cancer. Thankfully, it was detected early, and his doctors have advised that it's treatable and curable. He will continue his normal coaching duties and responsibilities, and with forthcoming proper treatment, is expected to make a full recovery. Coach Freeze is incredibly appreciative of our medical professionals and has asked that we use his experience as a reminder of the importance of prioritizing and scheduling annual health screenings. Is that a colonoscopy that finds that? For prostate cancer?
Yes.
I think,
yes, that is definitely true. They keep changing the age on that, like when you should start doing it.
They lowered it.
Yeah, it was 45. Then they moved it up to 50. Then they lowered it to 45, and now I think they put it at 40.
I think.
Didn't they?
I think maybe for men it's lower, and women it's around 45. But yeah, they did. They lowered it. I know they lowered it.
615-737-1045.
Super important. Get it done. And to all my women out there, get your boobies checked too.
Yeah. Well said.
Yearly mammograms. There you go.
Zeph, you got a baseball score? Don was wondering during the break.
Tennessee up now 4-0
Okay.
All of the runs have come on home runs, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
go big or go home.
Much for Lindsey Nelson's a small park because you're playing in an MLB stadium.
Well, I mean, the ballpark formerly known as Minute Maid Park and Enron Field, formerly known as Enron Field.
Oh,
not the biggest of stadium either.
Shh, we don't want them to know that. They're hitting home runs on major league fields.
Okay.
615-737.
Don't let the facts get in the way
Of a good story. I say that all the time. My buddy Andy Sale just wrote, not a colonoscopy, it's a PSA test.
Oh, okay.
So thank you,
That's
Andy.
the urologist or something. Okay, gotcha.
He's a big LSU fan.
Thank you. See, I don't know.
That Andy Sale is an LSU fan?
No, I don't know anything about male health.
But get your boobies checked, right?
But I do know about female health.
There you go. LSU at number 24, Mississippi State, coming up. Cam Ward announced today that he will not throw at the Combine. He will throw at his pro day. Zeph Dog, do you have cut number 21 ready? I know you're on the phone processing a call, but here's Cam Ward talking about why he is not throwing at the Combine.
No, I won't be throwing. I just think fires the film, says everything I can do. And I just think, me throwing here is not going to move me in no type of way. I'm just decided to throw my pro day to, the best receiving core in the country.
The best receiving core in the country.
He said, my best trait is winning in the pocket.
Okay.
So
you can't rely on running and scramble drill. You have to win in the pocket.
So yesterday I gave Dawn homework. And her question for Cam Ward was, do you have that written down somewhere or should I paraphrase it? What was your question that you would have asked Cam Ward?
Cam Ward, well, I had two of them, but one of them was, what on the field trait do you possess that will make you a franchise quarterback for years to come? The other one was, you've improved significantly at every stop on your journey. What's left to refine in your game? But I think basically he was answering my first question.
And here's what he said.
I think my best trait is winning from the pocket, and I got better at that over my years throughout college. And at the end of the day, as a quarterback, you can't rely on scramble drill and, having to win out of structure because you can't win in the pocket. You'll never be successful.
There you go. He basically answered my question for me.
There you go. He did answer your question. I love that you completed your homework. Was that like a consistent thing for you in school?
Yes.
Slay
I told
came
you
up
I had
with
a 4.0 till my last semester at Auburn.
Slay came up with a good question too.
Wait. What happened to your last semester?
I don't want to talk about it.
You had it rolling. What are you doing?
Right? And your last semester is supposed to be your easiest.
Yes.
This jerk professor.
You sound like Zeph. I will tell you this. I had to have a 4.0 my senior year in high school to get into Tennessee.
Oh.
And I did. I did it. Got it done.
You know what? Now here we are many a years later, and it doesn't freaking matter what my GPA was in college.
My granddad always told me, like, get your degree. You need to have it, but it's going to get you your first job, and that's it.
That's it. Yep.
After that, it's on your work history.
Very true.
And relationships and who you are and all those things. So kids, don't listen to us, but do well in school, all those things. Take it seriously. Don't cram at night. Drink a Jolt Cola or coffee
I never
by
did
the
that.
gallon.
Every single test.
God, I hated staying up all night, too.
Hey, it got me a 4.0 till my last semester.
Well, were you like me? Like, I'm not doing this ever again. I'm not staying up all night. I'm going to prepare and be ready.
Yep. And then 2 weeks later.
I'll tell you one time, I took exams and I had like 3 on my last day. And so I stayed up all night. I studied. I did well, whatever. But I had to drive back to Nashville right after that, having stayed up all night. I got to Harriman, Tennessee at that McDonald's at Harriman. And I pulled in that parking lot and I went to sleep for like 3 hours in my car.
Oh, my gosh.
Which is not good. Michael Jordan's dad will tell you that.
Oh. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Don't go to sleep in your car in a parking lot. What's wrong, Seth?
I was just going to say Maxwell Hairston's 40 time, officially a 4.28.
Woo.
Wow. Even better.
Kentucky, baby. Do you want to?
These corners flew today.
They did. 4.28. Who's the one player said he was going to run the fastest time tomorrow?
Isaiah Bond.
Isaiah Bond, yes.
Says he was going to break his former teammate, Xavier Worthy's record.
Isaiah Bond, who caught one memorable football against, who was that against?
Stop. It was a 4th down, right?
I hate both of y'all.
It was like 4th and 50.
Seriously. It was like 4th and 50. End of the game.
Yeah. Beat Auburn on that throw or on that catch.
That's when he was at Alabama. And then left.
And then transferred to Texas.
Yeah. Then he left.
Where he didn't really do much because
okay.
Injury. I think he had some injury concerns there. So
he was battling a bunch of, and I think it was soft tissue stuff too.
Michael on YouTube says exit 347 Harriman.
Oh,
yep.
There you go.
4.28 is moving. You're right, Jael. People getting on me for my descriptions. I do get dark. I've gotten dark a couple of times today.
What do you mean today? I mean, this is not a new thing.
I'm not going to lie.
Basically every day.
Looking at these combine numbers, some of these safeties are jumping in the vertical. I got a 43, a 41.5, another 41.5.
Remember when we did Babsy Davenport's vertical? Do we remember? Like, it got like 500,000 views on TikTok.
Or when she was,
that was just
that was her height.
Oh, that was height.
Yeah.
Didn't you do a vertical? You did a vertical in the other studio is what you did.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
I don't. That was like 7 years ago.
Did she
that
go
was a
through
long
the
time
ceiling
ago.
like Javon Curse?
No. And I think she had boots on and like it was kind of a scene. But
Oh, and also I'm a washed up athlete.
I think this was right after her ankle injury that knocked her out of marathon running.
Yes. Haven't gotten back in since.
We should do that and put it on TikTok. Davenport doing the vertical. You got
Should
it
we just have her do all the combine drills?
What's she going to run down the hall?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Listen.
All right, coming up next segment.
Unless that's sponsored, we're not doing that.
Sure,
Oh.
sponsored by
Blair
Mayor and
Durham.
Zeph.
Let's get Blair Durham to sponsor that.
Interval.
He totally would. And that way, if you hurt yourself or somebody else coming out of another studio.
I can sue him with himself.
No, I was going to say
he would
he
be
can
able to help
represent you.
Oh, right.
I don't know if Cumulus would like that.
Oh, yeah, good point. Well, I mean, he would sponsor, so he's paying them, but then, like, Don would sue them. So
What if we
Could
just
that
went
be
off
a
station
conflict
property?
of interest?
Yeah.
What if
Robin-
we just went off station property?
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Is that the saying? I never understood what that saying was. Who is Peter and who is Paul? Is that biblical?
Probably. But I couldn't give you the answer.
M. Bob said, I'll kick in. What are we doing? We're doing broad jump, 40, vertical?
3-cone drill.
No, we can't do that.
No, we can't do 3-cone. My knees will buckle.
Yeah, she'll just, collapse like the Wicked Witch of the West. What
about the shuttle run or the bench?
Is the mean?
I was never a big bench person though. Like,
I love the bench
in
press.
college, you guys have seen pictures. My legs were massive. Massive in college.
Those are your words. You always say that.
I know, and they were. I have plenty of pictures to show them.
Have you seen those pictures he's talking about?
I have not.
Good.
Oh.
Let's show it to him during the break and see what his reaction
I'll show
is.
it to you. But
She
I
does
could
look a little
squat.
different. Let's see that.
I was thick. I could squat now. I could put some weight on that bar, but I could not bench press.
Babs.
THICC, is that what the kids say?
That's what a lot of people say.
Anyways, you guys ready to go to break?
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Yep. So I'm looking at the date. It's February 28th, which means this is basically your last day to jump in with Zen Sports and their VIP play because it's awesome. Yeah. So they just keep doing these VIP Players Club sweepstakes. And this month, one grand prize winner is going to win 2 VIP tickets to the men's basketball conference championship game right here in Nashville. And let me tell you, that's a hard ticket to get. You'll win that plus a $10,000 bonus bet on any tourney game or $10,000 cash alternative. You earn entries on 1, every bet you place, 2, every dollar you wager, 3, 10 times the entries on our all parlay bets. And then 4, you sign up if you're a new customer with my code, which is DAWNTN, DAWNTN, and you get 500 extra bonus entries. How about that? And if you're not the grand prize winner, you also have a shot to win one of 10 other small prizes from Zen Sports and their VIP Players Club sweepstakes too. So hop in with Zen Sports, where betting just got better. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Got to be 21 and older and located in Tennessee to bet. $5 minimum wager to qualify for entry. Terms and conditions apply. Full contest rules at zensports.com/sweepstakes. A qualifying wager for a wager entry must have minimum odds for any leg in the entry of at least -250 or worse. American odds for clarity. A wager at -251 odds does not qualify.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
Good evening. It's 5:04. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. NFL news today. The Rams have agreed to terms with quarterback Matthew Stafford on a restructured contract, keeping him in L.A. for the foreseeable future. Currently, workouts and day 2 of the NFL Combine underway. Defensive backs and tight ends currently going through the drills on NFL Network. Tennessee baseball right now facing off against Oklahoma State, number 16. Oklahoma State, they lead 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. This weekend in college hoops, number 1 Auburn on the road versus number 17 Kentucky. That tip-off is at noon. Number 5 Tennessee hosting number 6 Alabama in a top 10 matchup. Tip-off for that one is at 3 o'clock. You can catch the Ball Network coverage of the game right here on The Zone starting at 2:30. Vanderbilt is hosting number 14 Missouri at 5. And Slay's game, number 3, Florida, hosting number 12, Texas A&M at 7:30. For your foundation repair and waterproof needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hello, Nashville.
Hello, Nashville.
There she is, y'all. She's Babsy Davenport.
Twitch, please. This weather is not bunk.
How about it?
It's amazing here.
Yeah, what do they call it? Chamber of Commerce weather?
That's right.
Yeah, it's San Diego out there.
Yep. No, it's better.
Like, San Diego's got to be the most boring town in America to live in, right? Like, it's 72 degrees every day there.
I don't know. I feel like they got a bunch of other stuff going on there.
Can we do the radio show from outside when it's like this?
Yeah.
I was asking our big boss, Mace, about it. And
she always brings liability into her good ideas. Because this is a great idea, but there's liability involved. We would all have to sign things.
Yeah, they might not approve it, but there is a lot of space on our roof. I'm serious.
I was thinking maybe like out on the balcony.
No. I'm talking on the roof, outdoor studio.
It would be amazing. We've been up there. That's where, like, you had just started. It might have been like your first day.
It was. It was my second day.
It was the eclipse.
Yep.
Where were you? You were like in 8th grade or something.
I was in high school.
So we watched the eclipse from the roof. And then Mickey did a video where it looked like he was jumping off the roof.
I saw that.
You did?
I was the other day I was scrolling through all of the old videos on the 104.5 The Zone YouTube page, and that one's actually one of the most viewed ones. It's actually kind of funny.
That's funny.
It is one of the most viewed ones?
I think so, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Is there a wall around the outside at the top of the roof?
Yeah, but it's low.
Very low.
Like you would trip over it and fall into the street and bust your head.
But there's
and
one
die.
there where it could theoretically stop you.
No, it's not stopping you.
It
That's
comes
how
up
we have
to
to
like
present
your.
it to get up there.
I mean,
That is
listen,
true. It only comes up to like your shins.
Right. Does a speed bump slow Babs down?
That's accurate.
True. Does it show where the edge of the roof is, where you're not just gonna start walking and then fall off?
Yes.
So yeah, then we can go out there. Yeah, we're perfect.
We'll take that.
Okay, there's no stairwell to said roof that you guys are talking about.
There's
you
a
have
ladder.
to climb a ladder.
There's a ladder
through a hole in the roof.
That's also true. It was a little unnerving. The ladder is very narrow.
I've seen the ladder. It's in the stair. The ladder is in the stairwell that goes from the first floor to the second floor.
And it's all rusted. And
I mean, it's right behind you, basically.
we'll go check it out during the break.
He looked behind us.
There's a door behind me.
615-737-1045. I'm all for it. Do they still do that? Take class outside if it's a nice day in high school and stuff?
I did it a couple times in college.
You did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Babs, Tennessee leads Oklahoma State 4-0.
I don't care.
5 in the 5th.
Y'all are going to make me hate Tennessee baseball. Hate it.
I told Slade the other day, I'm not going to miss an afternoon weekday game the entire season as long as Zeph is here.
I'm so annoyed.
I don't remember you doing this last year, finding Tennessee baseball every time they
I wasn't
play.
with you guys last year.
That's why.
I started in June when they were already in the postseason.
Right. Certainly Hunk
And
wasn't
then I
doing
cared because it's postseason.
Did you? Did you really?
Did you care when they won?
Yes.
I'll take it.
because that's cool. And the College World Series is one of the best sporting events in the entire year.
You guys remember where I was when they won it?
Weren't you there?
I was sitting on a beach in Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
That is right. You started working with us, and then you took a week off, like immediately.
I already had it scheduled, but yeah.
I mean, can you blame him?
No.
Now, this week coming up here in about a month or so, yeah, I scheduled that one while I was with you guys.
Well, that's kind of understandable. You're going to get married.
And then I'm going to Aruba.
Going to the chapel and you're
honeymoon.
Gonna get married.
By the way, thanks for sending
This is
the
funny.
website to go and RSVP. And I'm like, oh, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it right now.
This is how ADHD, is it ADHD or ADD? We are.
Both. I think you can go with hyper. Anyway, so I go to click on it and it says, please RSVP by March 15th. Do you guys know what the date is? It's February 28th. Why are you giving me crap for not RSVPing? I'm not even close to the deadline. You guys should have made the deadline earlier if you want people. See, no.
I got fought on that.
Yeah. So then I was like, whatever, I'll just go RSVP to, make it better.
Why would you try anything?
I don't know.
Stay the hell out of the way.
I thought I had some
Listen,
say.
you listen to Mike Leach. Just stay out of the way. And
that would be great timing.
Yes.
We should totally pull up Mike Leach giving the guy advice on his wedding.
Yeah. We'll play that for you.
Google it.
Zeph.
Get it ready. We need to play it.
And
what the hell else do we have to do?
He did one with Alyssa Lang,
Yeah,
and then
right.
he did one prior to that, like a bunch of years prior to that, when he was still at Washington State. Anyway, so I go to RSVP, and then that was an hour ago, and I still haven't RSVP'd because I forgot. So sorry, Zeph. I'll be there. All right. Are we going to hear from Shedeur or Cam first?
Since we've already dove into Cam Ward, why don't we continue to go down that path? Would you like to?
Yeah.
Are you the queen of audio? Do you want to roll with it, or do you want me to do it, Babs?
You start it, I'll roll with it.
Also, I thought about this during the break. For people that are new to the show that wonder why we call Dawn Davenport Babs.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody asked me at basketball.
Her middle name is Babette.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn Babette Davenport. So when she came aboard, Mickey immediately, when he found out your middle name was Babette, started calling you Babs.
Yes.
Which was a huge name back in like the 1930s.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fits my mentality.
There were probably multiple people on the Titanic that went down with the name Babs.
Jeez.
I'm in one today.
That's a dark way to take that.
Tell me I'm wrong. And so then Slay came aboard, and he always either gives you a nickname, or if he likes your nickname, he tweaks your nickname. So he gives it like the little Slay technique to it, or whatever. So he started calling you Babsy.
Yes.
So that's why we call her Babs.
He texted me yesterday or 2 days ago when he was at ESPN, and he was like, Hart says hi, Tom Hart says hi, whatever. He was like, all these ESPN people are always like, hey, how's Dawn? And I'm like, who? He's like, oh, Babsy, yeah.
That is funny. So that is why we call her Babs. And because of that explanation, we will now listen to Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders when we come back. Also, please find Mike Leach. There's always a great time to play Mike Leach, but since you brought up your wedding, you need to hear this.
Yep.
Wedding advice from Mike Leach, and you need to take note, okay? 615-737-1045. You want in. 3HL, Brent Doherty, Babsy Davenport. Slay Dog is going to call, who's he got? Texas A&M at Florida tomorrow. So check that out. We'll be right back. I want to tell you about my friends at Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Check them out online, digginssupply.com. This is where you need to go to get that lawn ready for the spring and summer months. And make sure you have the best lawn in the neighborhood. Go where the pros go. Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Locations: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. digginssupply.com. Spring is Almost here. And Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply is ready with all the fertilizers, seeds, pre-emergence, and herbicides needed to get your property ready for the spring. They offer professional advice and know how to DIY your lawn and landscape. Go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, whether you're trimming bushes, cutting grass, or just trying to keep weeds and insects out of your lawn and landscape, they've got it all. When you're looking for quality parts, products, and the best advice, your one-stop shop. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Locations: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. DickensSupply.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. What did you notice during the break? And then we'll get to Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders.
So Don was telling that story about the RSVP and whatnot, and then I was like, she went through the trouble of like pulling up the website and like getting there, and then she didn't even do the RSVP.
Which is funny because she started to tell that story, and then I mentioned ADD or ADHD, whatever it is, and then it sidetracked us, and she never finished the story. So like she did it and I did it, and here we are.
And then when I was telling that story, I went back to the site to go ahead and RSVP, and I still haven't done it. We're going on 3 hours now. You know what? I'm going to go do it right now. All right. Talk to me, Cam Ward. Talk to me.
All right. Cam Ward, let's go. Let's start with cut number 14, Zeph. Cam Ward talking about, sorry. Cut number 12, Zeph. Cam Ward talking about what kind of leader he is.
Just holding people accountable. I'm not no rah-rah guy. At this point in your career, your NFL, you should need somebody to motivate you every day. You got to be self-motivated. That's the type of person I am. That's the type of leader I am. So I just think, what I can bring to a franchise, no other player can bring that.
I love Cam Ward. I could listen to that dude talk. He's so matter-of-fact, y'all.
Both these guys are.
He's like Will Bowling. He's like 65 years old in that body. I mean, thankfully he doesn't play that way, but.
Yeah. Well, and he's right once you get to that level. Although I will say there are some that do get to that level that are not self-motivated. But as a franchise, you hope to stay away from those. Sometimes it's not that easy.
Isaiah Wilson.
I mean, honestly, I think it was it Blaine that brought it up earlier? Albert Hainsworth. Like, he was motivated when it was a contract year, and he was unstoppable.
The year before he signed his $100 million deal with the then Washington Redskins, it might have been the best defensive tackle season ever in the history of the game. That guy was more dominant than any other. I don't care who you throw out there.
Yep.
More dominant than any other defensive tackle I've ever seen, Albert Hainsworth, in that year.
It was crazy to watch.
I mean, literally, it was like, not a lot of people would get this, but John Henderson, when he was at Pearl-Cohn, literally would just pick people up and throw them out of his way.
Well, and then the talk
and that's what Albert was doing in the pros.
Why didn't he do that in years prior? There was always that talk, but yeah, he got taken care of.
Go get yours, Albert Hainsworth. I love it. Also, he listens to the show. What up, Big Al? Cam Ward. What does he know about the Titans?
I think I know a decent amount. I was able to watch a couple of their games this past season. A lot of their route concepts are similar stuff that we do. So if I'm drafted there, I just think it'll be plug and play.
What of your early interactions with the Titans?
We had good interactions. Myself with Coach Callahan, the quarterback's coach, and also the GM. It's a great staff they put together. They got unbelievable players. So I just hope that God puts me in a good situation.
Thought?
I mean, God is mighty powerful, but if you come to the Titans, it might not be the best situation.
Now, I might have accidentally cut this off, so this might be my fault. But he did say at one point when asked about, I guess, the Titans, that he would be plug and play if he were to. That's the quote he used, is plug and play, is what he would be if he were to come here.
That's what he said.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yep.
Plug and play. Yep.
I mean, if you're going number one overall, you're playing.
You're plugging and playing, even though I don't want him to play immediately, but that's a different conversation.
You ain't going to get your way on that one.
I know.
Babsy. Would you like to go through cut number 14, Babs?
I mean, you can.
Well, you really sold that one.
I know. I was more...
Way to go, Monty.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We'll get to Shedeur. But Cam Ward, one thing that teams should know about him.
That I'm willing to do anything, it takes to win a football game, whether it's be a gunslinger all day or, have to hand the ball out a couple times. So, at the end of the day, I know what type of player I am. The team should know what type of player they get in me. And so, I'm just going out there to try to do my best for myself and my future teammates.
I mean, he's saying all the right things, right? I wanted to hear the cut on him about the spotlight that an NFL quarterback gets. Does that worry about him? Because he's not a spotlight guy.
I'm not worried about no spotlight. It was one time in my life where I wasn't in the spotlight, and it's crazy to see how everything can change. So I'm not worried about no spotlight. At the end of the day, the camera's going to find you. You're the franchise quarterback somewhere. So, I just put my head down. I work every day, and the long run is going to pay off.
Like it?
Yeah.
He's not worried about the spotlight. You know what he's worried about?
I want to know if he'll embrace the spotlight.
I don't think he's that guy, man.
I know he's not.
Right?
Is that concerning at all to you?
He reminds me, the more we
It
go
doesn't bother
through,
me.
I said this a couple of months ago, but the more we go through this, the more he reminds me of Steve McNair.
I knew you were going to say that because McNair was not a spotlight guy. It wasn't about him. It was about winning.
Couldn't
It was
care
about
less.
the team.
Yep.
It was about don't
His
talk to me, go
guys.
talk to my teammates. Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of followed that pattern a little bit, like, putting his name in for the Senior Bowl so his teammates got invited as well.
Yeah.
Not necessarily doing the media tour that Shedeur has been doing pre all this combine stuff. Right? Not saying that he'll be Steve McNair, but in terms of how he's handling this pre-draft stuff, kind of trending that way, behavioral-wise.
Yeah.
I like it. I like Cam Ward. I like Shedeur, too. I think they're both going to be good quarterbacks in the league. I know they're getting killed by some people, but, man.
I'm telling you, listen to these 26 minutes.
Let's move to Shedeur because I feel like Cam said everything he was supposed to say. There was nothing that, and maybe it's because I've actually spoken to him, but there was nothing that he said that stood out where you're like, oh, wow, he said this. He said exactly what he was supposed to say. It was, what do you expect him? How do you expect him to answer that? Okay, let's listen to some of Shedeur's because I feel like there are more haters on Shedeur.
Can I do one thing before we do that?
Sure.
Can I hear Cam Ward talking about cut number 19?
Yeah.
Is he more of a vocal leader or lead by example leader?
I'm more of both as a leader, especially throughout college. I've grown to be more vocal. But at the end of the day, it's all about leading by example, I believe. The quarterback is going to always be the highest paid player on the team, and he has to showcase that skill every Sunday and every day throughout the facility to his teammates. I just think I'll be one of those guys in the long run. I'm looking forward to it.
He's just a matter-of-fact guy, and that's why it reminds me of Mac when I hear him talk, because
That's what I
Mac
was
was
gonna
that
say.
way. Now, Mac would always start every response with, most definitely, and I miss it. When I think of Mac,
Levi did that a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if he took it from Mac.
I think so. Most definitely. All right, Shedeur Sanders, Queen of Audio. What do you got going?
Oh, I think we need to hear a majority of it. What was your favorite from him today, Zeph?
Let's see. My favorite was probably number 6. What is one thing that he can improve on from his time in Colorado? And I'll tell you why I like this one right after we play it.
All right.
We got in our groove, I'll say, sometimes late in games. So that's how I realized, okay, going to the next level, I got to find myself early. I got to get ready mentally early because I know early on, some games I wasn't taking the completions coach was calling, Sometimes I was trying to make too much happen. So that just comes from a mindset of, like, do or die mentality to where you're going to succeed and not succeed. And sometimes, I got caught up playing hero ball, but I understand where I messed up, and now I'm going to fix it at the next level.
Now, for everyone saying
Very
that
honest.
Shedeur is arrogant and he's full of himself, listen to that. That is not arrogant and full of himself.
I think if people say that about him, they haven't really paid attention to him, like haven't heard him talk and haven't seen him do interviews or something, because I don't get that at all.
Yeah.
What you got, Babs?
So my one question for Sanders and my homework from Zeph was for those that look at your lifestyle, music, all of that, and say it could be a distraction to ball. What do you say? Well, he explained why the music he makes and all that he does isn't a distraction from football.
See, I'm happy you asked that question. You got to understand, when you get the work done, and that's why you drop the YouTube video Day in the Life, we work out, we eat, we watch film. After that, you got all these hours to yourself. So why would somebody criticize you for being at home and being able to express yourself the way you want to express yourself? rather than you could be out being wild, doing all this type of stuff, driving as fast as you can on the road, doing anything wild. So it's like, if anything, I feel like some GMs, they appreciate that you're in a controlled environment, able to just express yourself and chill. So I make it truly for fun. I don't make it to release. Like I got an app that I send to all my friends. They probably got 20 songs on there, but it's just for just to decompress. That's all it is.
Okay. Does that make you feel better if you're concerned about his lifestyle?
I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's a really grounded dude, which says a lot about him.
Says a lot about Dion raising him to be that way.
Says a lot about Dion because, how much of Dion's persona when he was younger was real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or how much of it was for show to sell himself.
Well, and how much has he grown as a person and
Part of
realized
that too, yeah.
how to, help these young men that he's coaching to be successful in life and be grounded and do all of those things. Obviously, Dion had 8 trillion critics out there, right? Because of that big personality and all of that. And Shedeur, I think, gets that just because he is Dion's son and is out there and puts himself out there. But he was asked about those critics and what they say about him.
You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like the adversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
There you go.
I mean,
he's so personable.
He really is. And he's likable. Like, he smiles in his, you can hear his smile. You know what I mean?
You know what I was thinking about when he was talking was the old saying, like, never take criticism from someone whom you would not take advice from.
Yes.
I mean, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, why would you be Teflon? Why would you let that get to you? Easier said than done.
Always.
Admittedly.
Always.
But yeah, that is definitely, like, if I were one of those dudes to have, like, post-it notes around my place with, like, little motivational things or whatever, that would be one for sure.
Are you a dude that has post-it notes with
I
motivation
have
on
it in
your
my-
bathroom mirror?
I have it in my brain. 615-737-1045 if you want in.
I have post-it notes all over my house reminding me of all the things that I haven't done that I have to do.
I totally could see that.
Yeah.
Which, just by seeing the post-it notes and not even reading them, will probably give you anxiety.
Correct. Thank goodness I'm medicated for that.
Yes. Thank goodness for all of us.
Truth.
What about cut number 1? Shedeur Sanders on being able to adjust to any offense.
I've been through 6 different OCs, so I'm able to adjust to any offense and every scheme and make it work. We went from Jackson State to Colorado and changed 2 programs back to back. So you don't think I could come to an NFL franchise and change a program again? It's history. We done it again. It's always going to repeat itself.
I love that.
Oh, that was borderline cocky right there.
But he's selling himself.
That was borderline. Oh, that was borderline. I don't know. But as a side note, I had no idea that he's played under 6 different offensive coordinators. Did you?
No, I didn't. But he's right. What they did at Jackson State and then what they did at Colorado is amazing.
Yeah. That program was shambles.
A dump.
Absolute shambles. I really
know what Colorado was? Colorado was like if you smell something in a kitchen or something and you move the refrigerator back and there's like a dead rat there.
Ew.
That's what Colorado was.
Okay, that's graphic. I was thinking about how I haven't seen any rodents in my backyard, which means I have snakes somewhere.
That's what they say. That's what they tell you.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a good thing until I see one of said snakes.
Well,
then that's not a good thing.
You just typically run them over with your car.
Yeah.
Without knowing.
R.I.P., buddy. That was a big one, too. Whew, that was a big snake.
Man, it would have been good if you'd have had like your windows down and you would have heard it.
Ew.
Like your tires go over
Like
the
crunch
street.
it?
Yeah.
I just hope he didn't suffer.
Or if the snake had just eaten something, and it's got that bulge in the middle of its body and you ran over that part. And like you killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Okay, Mayor.
Would you like to stop me?
David,
what's
there
next?
it is. The off-ramp. Yep. He's on it. Number 3 from Shedeur.
It's a good thing we have this audio because this show today would have really done something.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, people.
Go ahead.
So Shedeur, obviously, there is a large contingency of professional analysts who look at the tape and do all that. I mean, Greg Cosell, one of them, that say he is not necessarily from the tape a first-round draft pick as a quarterback, right? He's going to be, but there are experts that don't believe that he falls into that category. And so he talked about being aware of his weaknesses as a quarterback.
So I'm realistic. I know what I need to improve on. I know what I need to grow at. And year by year, cut on the tape, those mistakes cut down yearly. So I'm hyper aware of everything I need to do to be successful. So I'm ready to get to it.
I see why Zeph had completely flipped on him because he's very humble. He's very open about, listen, I'm not a finished product. He's seems extremely ready to work to improve weaknesses. He's readily admitting that, he has weaknesses as a quarterback. I mean, all of this that he's so vocal about, and I'm sure that Dad has helped coach him up on these press conferences, right? I'm sure. But the way that he's delivered, talking about his weaknesses and where he knows he needs to get better, he's very honest about it. And I think that makes him likable to a lot of people that maybe didn't think that they would like him. Zeph being one of them, you completely changed after listening. I mean, not completely, because you weren't against him.
I wasn't against him, but I was a Cam Ward for sure over Shedeur Sanders. Like, if they were going to go quarterback, go Cam Ward. Now I'm like, I'd be okay with them drafting Shedeur. I still want to see the physical stuff at his pro day and watch him throw and kind of hear a little bit more of Brian Callahan and Mike Bergonzi's thoughts on him. But the way he's come across and handled himself, especially like at the combine so far, I'm very impressed.
Yeah. See, me too. I'd be okay with him as a person, as a player, even with all the, there might be distractions with music and, a day in the life. And
I think he could handle
that.
it.
I think he could handle it. Yes, exactly. That's the best way to put it. I think he could handle it. I think he could handle the pressure in the NFL. I think he would probably thrive with the big stage and the big spotlight and all the pressure. I don't worry about that. My concern is I don't look at him as a number 1 overall quarterback pick, period, just from what he's done on the field. To me, that is Cam Ward.
Shedeur Sanders talking about culture. Can he change the culture of the franchise that drafts him?
That's the plan. If that's not what you're trying to do, don't get me. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me.
Confident. That dude is sure of himself, man.
But he says it with a smile.
Yes, he
Makes
does.
it better, doesn't it?
It's funny, like every time, even if you're not looking at him, you can see him smiling while he's talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very positive person.
You want one more of Shedeur?
One more.
All right. Why does he know he is one of the top quarterbacks in this draft?
Because I've done it at 2 locations already, so it's simple. So that's why when people say I'm not, one of the top quarterbacks or the top quarterback, is what are y'all going based off of? Because I did it year after year after year, then you see the progression. So it's like, obviously, it got to be some type of external hate that you have for the family, for the last name, for anything, because I know I proved myself on the field.
Ooh.
I mean, there's a healthy amount of that. You know that.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, when we come back, Mike Leach's wedding advice to Zeph. Also, Reese and Laura in Bowling Green. Stay tuned.
As a customer of Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, I would love to recommend them to you. So, listen, I always talk about how, the company has been around for 100 years this year, lifetime warranties on their windows. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville even provides an extra warranty, a 10-year labor warranty. They back up their work with a separate warranty, leading in the industry. I tell you all about all of that. But I want to tell you about the actual company because we've done so much work around our house lately and in the last few years. And you really learn that you need a company you can trust when they're working on your home. And Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville has the staff in place to support you, the customer, and they always will because it's so important to them. Go look at the reviews on Google and just ask me about it. I can tell you all about my experience with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. But 4.9 on their Google reviews, which there's a ton of them. So you know they're doing things right. And you know that they will take care of you. And I'm going to take care of you with my Dawn deal. The last day for the February Dawn deal, 47% off qualifying installations and no interest if paid in full, 12 months, no payments due. Just schedule your free consultation. You can do it all online and check out the Dawn deal. Tell them to give it to you. PellaNashville.com is where you need to go.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Zepthard's getting married on Final Four Saturday.
Hopefully the balls are there, and
what if they are?
Slay will not be at the wedding. He's already made that clear, and I said it's okay.
Will you be at the wedding? The Vols are in the Final Four.
Too much money for me not to be at the wedding.
Yeah, but you love your Vols.
I might sneak away.
Yeah.
Might start off on a bad note.
People will be texting you.
Hopefully they don't get to the national championship because I will be in Aruba when that game is.
Hopefully they do, Zev.
I guess I could illegally stream them in Aruba.
There's always
Why
a way.
would it be illegally?
Because my YouTube TV does not permit me to stream outside of the United States.
Oh.
Well,
so
you have plenty of time to do it.
That's why I had to watch the baseball national championship. My fiance Alyssa found a illegal stream for me.
I mean, this chick.
That's when you knew she was the one.
She's shooting deer. She's shooting deer. She's coming up with illegal streams like this.
She's a nurse.
This lady.
Overnight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she's just
like a saint.
It was a 1 in a million chance, Doc. These overnight things, man. How'd you get that stuck in there? Sorry, Seinfeld references.
I didn't know that one.
So, Fusilli Jerry, he sat on it. It's a 1 in a million shot, Doc. So, talking about your wedding, Mike Leach has wedding advice. Listen.
Well, it's too late to rescue you. The best wisdom that I can possibly give, wisdom I can possibly give on that subject, 9 days, and it's a little late. You should have come to me sooner. My wisdom would be, you have to stay out of the way. Now, and I wish you a very happy marriage, and I'm sure you'll have one. But I'm just telling you, when it comes to marriages, the women lose their mind. Your fiance is going to lose her mind. Your mother-in-law is going to lose her mind. Your mom is going to lose her mind. Several of your sisters and female relatives are going to lose their mind, and they're going to barrage you with constant questions. What should we wear? And then, which of course my answer was, I don't care. And then, what color should the invitations be? I don't care. What should we have for dessert? I don't care. Should we seat this way or that way? I don't care. But see, I don't care is not satisfactory at all. And you're going to get caught in a catch-22, and I'm certain that you already have. And that catch-22 is, well, I want you to be a part of this too. So what color invitations? All right, the blue ones. Well, I kind of like the tan ones. Okay, the tan ones then. Oh, you're just saying that because you want this over with. You're not even thinking about it, which is of course true. And then, what do you want for dessert? I was thinking of strawberry shortcake. Oh, okay. Strawberry shortcake would be good. Well, what about the blueberry pie? Well, I like the blueberry pie. We could have the blueberry pie. Well, I thought you said you wanted the strawberry shortcake. And it's just going to go back and forth, and they're going to play keep away from you until after you're married. So what you need to do is you need to work late hours, work late, be very nice and supportive, and but they're going to play keep away from you, and there's no answer you can give that is going to be satisfactory or correct. And if you successfully please a few of them, the others will still be, oh well, I just don't feel like he's that interested. Yeah, okay, so you need to work late, go in the back room and read a lot of books. You have to go take the groomsmen out, so you make sure that they march in just right and they know exactly, these swell outfits that you picked out or whatever, however you're doing it. And in the end, you'll wish you eloped. But nevertheless, you need to find excuses that they'll buy to be as far out of harm's way as you possibly can. And but take comfort in knowing that once the ceremony's over, life will get progressively better from there, even though there's some adjustment.
How about that?
Wow.
R.I.P.
Some
Pirate.
accuracies in that.
Thanks, Mike Leach. I'll keep that in mind as we get down to a month. It'll be a month next Wednesday.
Let's go to Bowling Green. Reese and Laura, I'm sure they have some thoughts on what the Pirate R.I.P. had to say. What's up, Laura?
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Well, I had to look at our marriage license to see what year we got married.
Davenport's kind of like that, too.
I'm with you.
And I forgot. I remember the day, but I forgot the year. But on a second note, I hope no parents take their kids to the zoo tomorrow.
Okay.
Why?
Well, the kids are going to be sad.
Why?
Because the elephants are going to be hiding.
Alabama.
Laura.
Yeah, the elephants.
Laura's got a
big
joke.
ones is going to take on Alabama and those elephants.
Did you allow Reese to bet on said game on your phone?
There's still time. Big man, are you with me?
I'm with you, Reese. What's up, buddy?
That was the best clip I've heard on this show outside of myself.
I did like Mike Leach's. Yes, that was nice.
Outside of me re-listening to my own clip, that was the best clip I've ever heard, ever.
That's saying something, Reese.
I mean, that was just magical. Oh, hey, I get real quick. I know we're running low on time. Y'all want sports, or do you want Tuesday story where a guy tried to mug me?
I'd love to know how a guy mugged you or tried to.
I was hoping you'd go that route.
You know me, Reese.
Laura didn't get off till 1:23. I got off at 11:08 that day. So I went ahead and come on home. Come on home. I'm going to clean up the house and go back, pick her up. I'm out here feeding stray cats, right?
Such a
and
lover.
This guy walks. This guy walks by, and he goes, "Give me a beer." I was like, man, I was like, I don't have any extra beers. And he said, well, how about I just rob you and take all your beers and money?
Wow, what a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not bad. Maybe you're a mugger. So I told him, I said, well, man, unfortunately, I lied to him. I said, unfortunately, you picked the wrong guy. I don't have any money. And he said, give me your money anyhow. And I said, well, I guess you didn't hear me. And so he's like, I said, man, if you don't mind, can you step back? You're scaring the cats. I said, these are stray cats. I'm feeding these cats. And I said, you're scaring them. He goes, what part of you not giving me my money you don't understand? And I said, the part that you're scaring the cats. And so I was like, man, let me ask you a question. What led you to this in life where midday you're walking down a ghetto street and you're trying to scare cats and rob somebody? I said, you're going to end up in jail, man.
You're reasoning with this guy.
Yeah. Well,
Reese is the voice of reason.
Yes, Reese, the
Lord
voice of
help us
reason.
all.
That's good. Yes.
And so I told him, I said, I got $3.70. And I said, I need that for a beer later. I said, I can't give it to you. And he's like, are those your chairs in the yard? And I said, no, they're yard ornaments. And he goes, can I sit in one? I said, yeah, man, take your seat. I said, tell me what's going on. And he's like, man, he goes, I'm 60 days sober. And I said, congrats, man. Why are you trying to get a beer? And he goes, me and my woman broke up. And I said, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And I said, I got some advice for you. And I said, I ain't going to give you the money, but what you need to do is you need to go down to the dollar store, buy the cheapest box of chocolates you can afford. Mm-hmm. You need to go back to her and knock on the door. And when she yells at you and doesn't let you in, show her the chocolates. She's going to answer the door, and she's going to love you, and she's going to take the chocolates. And y'all, instead of you getting back into alcohol and drugs, y'all work it out instead of going to jail. That was Tuesday. You know, his name was Terrence.
Big T.
Y'all say a prayer out there for Terrence. Big T. Big T. You know who showed up yesterday at my house?
Big T.
Big T with a big thank you and his lady, and they got back together, and he didn't go to jail.
Reese.
You're just saving cats' lives and people's lives.
Yeah.
I am a guidance counselor for the people out there, Mayor.
This is what we needed in our world, Reese.
I am here. Instead of him being in jail, he is back with Lady T.
Good job, Reese.
All right, who you got tomorrow, Reese?
Now, that's what I was about to get to. Vols are obviously going to win by 67. I mean, if they win 1 point, now, Babs, I appreciate y'all. Y'all going to beat Kentucky by like 40. Oh, Zeb's getting the rid of it.
You're gone.
Get on, Rocket! Big Fire, we love you, man. We love you, Babs. We love you. I hope you beat Kentucky by 50, but the Vols are going to win by 70.
I love it.
There they go, Reese and Laura. Have a good weekend, man. He's just, man. I mean, he turned Big
Changing
T's
lives.
He turned Big T's life around.
Saving cats, saving humans.
And Big T, yeah.
Reese.
Y'all have a great weekend, man, and we appreciate you guys in including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Again, have a great weekend. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
We'll want to be unless you are Tennessee for beating Alabama tomorrow.
They're favored by 3.5.
Such a homer.
How about unless you're Big T?
There you go.
Later,
Big
y'all.
T.